Oh, it's funny to me because I was just listening to a Christian who was doing that thing where they're like, oh, you're taking that out of context. And she said, okay, what's the context? And they don't even know what Bible story she's talking about.
Don't even know what the context is.
Yeah, you have no idea. You just want to yell context.
Yeah.
It's so funny that that's their go-to thing, right? All right.
That's the escape hatch.
Good morning, T7. It is. It's like their catch-all. Let's hear the theme song. Well, if I would do this right, we could. But instead, I'm turning off technology. You guys don't get old.
It's a brand new day and she's back again. Get
yourself a beverage, let's get settled in.
It's Decon Q&A with CrystalJae. Hey, 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 all our favorite heathens gathered in one place.
Hey, Darvel.
All our questions answered, our favorite creators on display.
It's Decon Q&A with CrystalJae. And TrustButVerify.
Hey. Oh, Crystal. Darvel said Crystal.
Get ready for the fun.
I like that.
Q&A with CrystalJae.
Good morning. Trust, I don't know if you've watched my show before, so I always tell people how we do it the first time they're on my show.
Okay.
And hopefully you'll be on my show as a return guest, and then I won't have to tell you the next time. But this is what we do. I'm going to start by asking you 10 icebreaker questions, and then we will invite the chat to either come up or ask their questions in comments. We are on YouTube, so sometimes we get questions over from YouTube. I'll read those questions out to you. This is a getting to know you. Sometimes we'll have people who will come up and want to debate a little bit. I tend to not like that, but sometimes I'll let it go depending on how the conversation is going.
Yeah.
Yesterday did not go so well. I allowed that to happen. So it'll depend on who it is. But yeah, so normally it's just about you. Like, we just want to get to know you, about your story. And but like I said, if somebody comes up and is like, what's your epistemology? I allow it if we're cool. You know what I mean?
All right. Cool.
All right. So let me find my icebreaker questions for you.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. You guys, remember this, okay? If you don't do all the good things, I don't get pushed out. But the minute you guys do all those, I will. So we got to start by sharing. We need to get it shared out to 100 people, even if there's only 5 people in here or 8 people or whatever, to 100 people in the first 15 minutes. And so if you hold down the screen, your entire list will come up and you could just go send. And each one of those counts as an individual share. Also, don't forget, I have the ice cream cones as my gift goal today, 666, praise Satan. And don't forget to do the heart me's and collect your team points. Make sure you're gifting Trust But Verify and tap that screen, please. Let's get up to 5,000 likes as quickly as possible. Thank you so much. Good morning, Tahir. How is everybody? All right, good to see everybody. And let me say hi over on YouTube really quick too, because we love our YouTube fam. By the way, I have this amazing person named Brian. He is an amazing member of the community. He has been going in and time-stamping my videos on YouTube. How cool is that?
That's amazing.
Oh my God, he puts the most cool little commentaries with the timestamps too. Like, it'll be like, Crystal was talking about that. Like, it's really cool. I'm really excited about it. Hey, nice. Casper, how are you? Casper joining us this morning over on YouTube. If you have any questions, please feel free to just ask in chat and I will read those out to Trust. Okay, here we go. They want you to star in a new TV show about anything. What's the concept? Who do you play, and what's one scene you'd insist on?
Oh, man. Okay, a TV show. What's the concept?
Yeah.
Who do I? Oh, it'd probably have to be a reality TV show. And I'd want it to be about my family. And so, of course, I'd play the dad. Yeah.
That's
So that's
good.
what
I
I would
like
do.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, mine's a futuristic show where it's illegal to be Christian because they always think that that's what's going to happen anyway. So I want to give it to them. And I'm Crystal, the Christian hunter. No, I'm just playing.
Oh, that's way more creative than mine. I went completely safe and vanilla and milk toast, and you just went out there. I love it.
It's kind of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but
I love it.
I just want to give in to their persecution complex, you know?
I love it. I love it. Wham! What a way to get the show started, man. Oh man.
Okay. What is your
I'm crying over
favorite-
here.
Wouldn't that be a good show, though? We
Oh,
should do
God,
a
that's
spoof one,
hilarious.
like a, little
Should.
TikTok show on it. I would totally be down to do a spoof
totally
show
should.
like that. Okay. Favorite way to prepare an egg, and what tiny trick makes it better than anyone else?
Oh, my favorite way is scrambled, and the tiny trick that helps it. Well, I like it scrambled well done, but my tiny trick to help it is just add butter. That's all you got to do.
Ooh, yeah.
That's it. That's all you got to do. Add butter.
Okay, I love a fresh hard-boiled egg when it's still hot. Okay,
Yeah, that's
and
nice too.
I have found the best way to make hard-boiled eggs, bar none. I'm just telling you, it's easy, super fast cleanup, and then you can eat the eggs really nice and warm. You do it in an Instapot, and you put them in. Make sure they're only one layer deep. Put your little metal thing down on the bottom and lay them on top of it. Put 1 cup of water in. Set it for pressure cook for 5 minutes. Then let it release for 5 minutes, okay, all by itself, okay, and then go and release the rest of the pressure, and then stick it in ice water, a bowl of ice and water for 5 minutes, and then you're done. But while it's still in the ice water, take one out while it's still just cool enough for you to touch and eat it. It's so yummy. I love it. But yeah, that's all you have to do to make hard-boiled eggs.
That's so
and
easy.
They peel so easy. The cleanup is so easy. I love it. I taught my husband to do it the other day, and he was like, "Are you kidding me?" And now he keeps hard-boiling all the eggs I buy. And I'm like, "Babe, I need eggs sometimes, so don't turn them all hard-boiled, okay?"
Yeah, my wife does that too. She'll hard-boil like a whole bunch for the week and then eat them, throughout the week. But then I got nothing to eat.
That's what he does too.
And so,
Right?
so
I want to fry an egg.
Hey, simple solution. I just buy extra eggs, and then we have
That's
plenty.
what I've been doing. And then, for some reason, when I buy extra eggs, I swear to God, nobody eats an egg after.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what? I bought extra. Just don't ever do it in the microwave. No, don't do that.
I made that mistake one time with a cold hard-boiled egg. Yeah.
You can crack an egg open and put it in a little coffee cup and stir it up with a fork and pop it in your microwave for a quick scrambled egg if you do not have
like in a pinch.
the ability to cook on a stove or something like that for some reason, and you just have a microwave that look, did I ever live a really poor life? Yes, I was poor. I ate scrambled eggs in a motel in a microwave. Yes, I did do that. And I've eaten top ramen many a time. No shame. No shame in that game. Who's your all-time favorite celebrity chef, and which single dish of theirs would you eat again and again?
Oh, the all-time favorite celebrity chef. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm gonna have to say, boy, that's a really good one. Um, who's that? Who's that real obnoxious guy that screams at people? Is it Gordon Ramsay?
Oh, Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah. That guy. Despite the fact that he's just mean and obnoxious, that part I don't like. But
Have you
I've
ever
watched
watched his British shows, though?
I haven't seen those.
Oh, okay. So see, they produce him in America, okay? Because if you watch the same shows of him, but produced in the UK, he is so much calmer because they
Is he?
purposely want to. Yeah, they do it for American television. He is
Okay.
so. And so I love watching, like, if you want to watch a really fun one, look for the show The F Word, okay?
Okay, The F Word.
He
All
does
right.
it in 3 parts. What it is it's a professional kitchen that he's running, and he has celebrities from the UK. So a lot of times you won't know who the celebrities are. Come in, they have to do a whole meal. Okay, they have to do a whole meal for the dining room from starter to entree to dessert. And then the guests get to grade them on whether they would have paid for that meal or not, basically. And they are kind of competing against other celebrities from previous weeks. But then he also has a segment on there that teaches you about food, where the meat comes from, like, you know what, like, I can't explain, but it's more like just so you learn about food in general, like
Okay.
the sourcing and stuff.
See,
And then the last
I think that's why I
part,
like him, because he's like a teacher. Yeah, he teaches.
yeah, and the
Yeah,
last part, he
that's
goes
what I like.
head to head against another celebrity, okay? And they come in and they make their most favorite thing they want to make, and then Gordon tries to beat them on it. So, like, let's say their mom made the best chicken soup, and they have their mom's chicken soup recipe. So then Gordon will try to beat them and stuff, and it's pretty fun. I really like
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
my favorite show that he does is the F
That's
Word,
cool.
but they don't have an American version, so they didn't fuck that one up.
Okay, because I stole his steak recipe. Well, for just cooking a steak like on an iron skillet.
Me too.
Highly
oh my
recommend.
God, it's
Yeah.
so good.
So
It is
good and so
good with
simple,
the
right?
butter, just putting
Yes.
the butter on. Oh
And you,
my God.
yep, you spoon it over, and you do that with chicken too. You can do the same thing with chicken. I've done the same thing. Oh yeah, it's like, and so simple, right?
Yeah.
Just so simple.
And I love, and that's what he does too in the F Word. He teaches you a dish that's like usually like just 5 ingredients or something really
Yeah.
fast. Like, it's
Yeah.
really cool. I love that show. It's really fun.
Yeah.
I love Gordon Ramsay, as you could tell. Like, he's definitely one of my top favorite chefs.
High five. Right on.
And actually, when I was a manager in retail, because I loved Gordon Ramsay so much, my employees would always respond to me, "Yes, chef," even though we were retail and not a restaurant. So I would say, "Okay, you guys,
That's
we're
awesome.
going to redo the basketball wall today or whatever," and they would go, "Yes, chef." And I was like,
That's awesome.
I love you guys. You're amazing.
That's awesome.
But I think that, to be honest with you, now that I watched and read and done some more history on Julia Childs, I don't know, she's kind of won my heart over. She was amazing. I think that everything about her was interesting. How her love with her husband was just, God, it was beautiful. And I don't know.
Yeah.
She's just, she seemed pretty amazing. I would have liked to
That's
get
cool.
to know her better. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You get 1 free song for your stream channel intro, and they'll never charge you for it. What are you gonna play for your intro?
1 free song for my intro, for my stream intro. 1 free
Yeah.
song. Ooh, that's a good one. You know, that's a good one. Oh man, there's so many to choose from.
I
Goodness.
know, right?
There's so many to choose from. You know what? It's gonna have to be Sly and the Family Stone. Thank you for letting me be myself. It's gonna be that one. That's the one it's gonna be.
That.
Yeah.
That is a great. That's a great song. I will tell you, I used to work in. I used to do video editing and photography and everything for wedding and events. Okay, I did all of that, and there are a couple of songs that I fucking hate because like
yeah, that's true. Retail will get you to hate songs. That's true.
I hate the song "We Are Family" at a wedding. Like I hate it. Do not play that fucking stupid song.
Yeah.
Like I hate it.
Thank
and
you.
my husband knows the songs that I hate. But that song, I love that song. Thank you for letting me be myself. That is a great song.
Yes.
Okay, I'm a weirdo and I love weird I just like music that's not always mainstream, and it's not because I'm trying to be different, it's just because I'm a weirdo. But I love Al Jarreau. Always have loved Al
Jarreau's
Jarreau.
great.
And he sings this song called Golden Girl, and that would be my song. It says, keep on shining, Golden Girl.
That's a good one.
Light a candle
That's
for the
a
world.
good one. I like that. I like that. Yeah, that's a big deal.
It's a
I love
great
that.
song.
Yeah.
It's a great song. It's very.
I love that one.
I don't know. Whenever I hear it, I just always would feel like, hey, that's about me. So
I love that.
Thank you, KJ. Hi, Ken. Hi, 3 Pips. Hi, Alan. Welcome in, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Yeah, I like that. That's a good one.
This is so. Okay, so do you have any pets?
No pets right now. None right now. And it's not because I don't like them. It's just because we've had some pets passing in the last couple of years, so we're kind of still in the grieving process.
No, I understand.
I had a 19-year-old cat that was a blue Russian, and she passed. Yeah, it was a couple of years ago she passed. So
I had a blue Russian too.
Yeah, aren't they the most beautiful cats? And they're so sweet.
So sweet. Oh
yeah,
my
they're
God.
so sweet. Exactly.
Yeah,
She's
mine
so
was
sweet.
Smokey, and I had to put him down a long time ago because he had feline HIV.
Oh.
You know, I forget what it's called, but they always call it like
the feline HIV.
But,
mine had kidney failure, the renal failure. You know, that's very common in cats, and she had that. But she made it to 19. Yeah,
that's
and
great.
she was so sweet, so sweet. And then I actually had a 7-foot red-tailed boa that passed. Oh, it's been about 6 months. And I had that one. They lived about 20 years, 20 to 30
That's
years,
cool.
and
that's
she
really
lived
cool.
right at 20 years. Yeah, she lived right at 20 years. So I had that one, and I was like, there was a point I was like, well, maybe if she lives long enough, I'll like put her on the lives and, you know, really freak people out, but didn't get that chance. So, but
you know, I'm almost 60 right now. We have a house full of animals. I didn't want all these animals, okay? I just want you to know I'm not a cat lady, but I have cats.
They pick you. They pick you. Yeah, they pick you.
So here's how it worked. I got my daughter a cat when she was 16. When she moved out, she couldn't take that cat, so I took the cat. She now has a cat because she can now have a cat, but I took that cat. Then my other daughter and her son moved in with us, and they each had a cat. And then we got our son-in-law a bearded dragon. And I also have a little dog that I've had for years, okay? So I have a dog, 3 cats, and a bearded dragon. And then somebody abandoned 3 kittens on my property during the time during COVID where nobody would take cats in any of the shelters without me signing papers saying that I knew that they were probably going to be put down. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Can't do that,
Couldn't do it. They're so
couldn't
cute.
Do it.
So I kept those 3 cats. But to be honest with you, as I approach 60, oh my God.
It's hard.
It is. don't think I want, like, as these pets grow older and things happen, I don't want anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not going to replace them or anything. I would like one cat my whole life. Like that's all I want for the rest of my life. I will always have a cat because I love Tux. He's my buddy, and if he passes away, I will miss him too much. But if I have the 5 other cats, I'm not replacing Tux if he passes away.
Yeah.
I don't need more cats. And it's going to be a while before all these ones, we don't let them out. They're all indoors, so they're not going to get eaten by a coyote or never come back or get, I don't believe in outdoor kitties anymore. I used to, because I was raised to believe that was
I would
okay,
never do outdoor cats anymore, yeah.
Me
they
neither.
live so much longer inside. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. And I don't believe in declawing them, so they've all got their claws and have destroyed all my furniture. But I'd rather have destroyed furniture than cutting off their little paws like that.
Can't you get the little it's like the silicone you can paint on their claws or their nails? Yeah, you can get, but I haven't looked into that. Yeah.
You get these little caps, but instead of doing that, because my cat, like especially Tux, he would be like, "What do you think you're doing touching my paw?"
Yeah, exactly. Fuck yeah.
And Edie, we have a Siamese cat named Edie. Hers are like freaking sharp as all get out, so she wouldn't like that either because she would swipe me trying to get her. But they have this kind of plastic stuff that you put on your furniture now so that they can't scratch it up and you can peel it off when
oh yeah, we did that. Yeah, we did that for my cat was named Doodle, and we did that for her. We just put it on the sides and the edges and stuff. Yeah. And it doesn't look too bad. It's like sticky on the outside, right? Is that the one you're talking about? Where it sticks on their paws and they don't like that and they stop touching it.
And they don't like that, and so they stop touching it. So when I get my new desk chair, I'll probably be putting that on there.
There you go.
New furniture will get that. They tore up old furniture, so that's not so bad. It was all old anyway. But as we replace it, they're not going to touch it. I'm not going to let them.
Right.
Describe your perfect zero obligations day. Like, if you have no obligations that day, what are you doing? What is TrustButVerify doing on an absolutely zero obligations day?
Oh, zero obligations day? So that would entail everybody's out of the house. So I got the whole house to myself.
Yeah.
And that's it. Because I can just do anything I want. I can sleep. I can watch TV. Oh, see, Mrs. Verify just opened the door and look. She's like, it's a zero obligations day. So it's,
you'd be praising the Lord.
Praising the Lord. Yes, I'm a secret. I'm a closet theist. So then that means I'm praising the Lord. No, then I'll see if some sports are on TV, and if not, I'll find a good movie on TV. So it's just really just chilling at home and just it's just nice and solitary and the solitude and alone. That's my perfect no obligation day. Yes.
It's so weird because as I was growing up, and I think that a lot of people have this misconception about me is I seem like such a people person. But I'm not. I love it. I love to be all alone. And I didn't used to be. When I was younger, I couldn't even imagine being alone. Like I would be like, I need to call somebody. I need to hang out with somebody. And now I am like, God, could everybody just go away? I want to read a book.
Yes, exactly.
I don't want to talk to anybody right now.
Yeah.
And I know people don't think that I'm like that. They always think, oh, you're so outgoing, you're so personable, you're such a people person.
People say the same to me, yeah. No. Like on Father's Day, like my Mrs. Verify would say, she stopped asking, but for several years she'd ask, what do you want for Father's Day? And I said, peace and quiet. That's all I want. Some damn peace and quiet. That's all I need. Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. Yep.
My husband used to always, and he still says this, even though 2 of the 3 children don't live with us right now, he would say, I want your rooms clean. That's all he would tell.
Want your rooms clean.
He tells them that still to this day. I'm like, honey, they don't even live with you, and their rooms are probably clean. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Probably cleaner than our room, actually.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
would you rather host an unedited live debate with 10,000 viewers or a tightly produced documentary that 1 million people will watch? Which
unedited
and why?
debate, 10,000 people all day, because when it's tightly produced and it's a documentary with 1 million viewers, then I just have like this sense of perfectionism, in something like that, and I want it to go exactly the right way. But see, with a off the cuff debate with 10,000 viewers and there's no script, then I'm way more comfortable with just because it's in my mindset. Oh, okay, it could just go any which way, and I just seem to be better with that. Like if I'm prepared for that. But with something that's scripted and when it's like produced, then you have like, I feel this pressure to like stick to the script and make sure it goes exactly the way it needs to go, So
now that we talk about this, I realize that back in the day when people would be like, well, this is live TV, you never know what would happen, and they would make it seem like it was so like scary to be live because anything could happen. I'm thinking, I fucking love that. I love that anything can happen.
Exactly.
That feels cool. And I don't know what you guys were all nervous about. Like, it's just like, it just feels more real too. Like,
it feels more real, right?
Things happen. Yeah, exactly. I tried out for Storage Wars after like their first season or something. They actually contacted me too. So I didn't
that's cool.
They contacted me. They found out that I was a reseller and that I had been doing storage auctions and other forms of purchasing. Okay. And so I auditioned for it and was really, really excited about the possibilities of being on the show. And then they picked somebody else, and I watched that next season, and it dawned on me right away why they didn't pick us and they picked them. And that was because everything became so scripted from that point on. And I'm not the kind of, like, the thing about me is I am real. Like, that's who I'm just me, right? And so if you want me scripted, it's not going to go as well. I'm not going to be, it's not, going to be vibrant or anything. And I wouldn't have liked it. If they would have told me that's what the show was going to be, I wouldn't have wanted to be on it anymore, because I would have been like, no, I want it. Like, what do you mean you're going to script this? So we would go to them live, and it irritated me because I'm there to actually buy a storage locker. So my time is fucking money with me, right? And we would start, and they would open up the thing, and everybody would bid, and it would take forever because they were directing us instead. The way you normally do it, you all show when it's live, okay? Because they don't do them live as much anymore for safety reasons. But anyway, you all show up. You have to have cash. So if you ever want to rob somebody with a lot of cash, go to a storage locker auction and just rob everybody, okay? Because they all have cash and a lot of it. I'm just saying, it's just the truth. But that's why we don't go to live ones anymore. If we do an auction, we go online now because it's
you do the online ones. Yeah,
but you go, and then normally this is how it happens. They open up the locker right in front of you, okay? It's the first time it's been opened. Nobody, even the owners the owner of the storage facility is supposed to have gone through it or anything, okay? That's how it's supposed to be run. They click the lock right there in front of you, open it up, and you each get to walk by and look at it for about 30 seconds. Scope out everything that's in the storage unit. You cannot step in. You cannot go past the line. You just get to look, okay? And then they start the auction. But with freaking Storage Wars, they would be like, okay, can we take that over again? Like, so we already know who won. We are wanting to go to the next locker now and bid on that, but we have to do 15 retakes of people's reactions and stupid shit, like, and get Dave to argue with, you know, whoever or whatever. And it was just, oh my God, it was so annoying.
It's too much.
I don't like produced shit. I used to watch reality TV when it was reality TV and it wasn't scripted, but no, I don't like the scripted shit. I think it's annoying. Okay.
When I found out reality TV got scripted, it was like, I don't even, why am I watching this shit? It's not even reality.
Right? It's not reality anymore. What the fuck? And I think that's why I started watching things like TikTok and YouTube, because now I'm watching real people again, be themselves again. I didn't mention Biggest Loser, but I was on Biggest Loser in Wichita, Kansas, too.
Were you?
Yeah.
I saw that documentary about that. That was awful. Like, just the things they make you do, and that's horrible.
So,
I'm so sorry.
On a local version of their show, and and that is how I found out I had thyroid disease, thankfully, because I had been to doctor after doctor before that, and they all said, nope, nope, nope. And then the doctor for the show said I did have it, and my doctor was like, what the fuck? Let me check. And then he was like, okay, you do. And I'm like, see, like, what the fuck? I've told you about this for 10 fucking years. Like, I literally have, and my most recent doctor was like, the reason some doctors don't say that you have thyroid disease is because you're right, like, kind of on the cusp of it.
Yeah.
But they're not taking into account that you have all the symptoms. So just because your thyroid isn't completely depleted, they're telling you you don't have it. But your thyroid is depleted enough and you have all the symptoms, which is why they should tell you that you do have it. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But when I was on the show, I did everything they asked. I dieted my ass off. We were on a liquid diet except for dinner. We worked out every morning at 5 a.m., but I worked out 2-a-days. I did a second workout in the afternoon, plus I worked retail and I was on my feet all day.
Jeez.
After, I forget how many months it was like 3 months maybe, I don't remember. People lost like 100 pounds. I lost 30. The first weigh-in that we did, my trainer thought I was cheating because I hadn't like lost enough weight. And so even my husband was like, well, babe, you did have those 9 pieces of sushi. And I'm like, hey, they were sushi with brown rice. That's not cheating. What the fuck? And I was feeling really judged. I was getting, and that was before we found out I had thyroid disease. So then they found out and they were like, we're so sorry. Like, so do you want some uppers? Because that would probably help you. Do you want uppers? And I was like, no. What?
No.
And so, so they were drugging all the contestants and me and this one girl who, her and I basically lost, but we were like the only ones not on uppers or not, you know, we just wanted to lose weight by working hard and eating right. And
well, that's not healthy. 100 pounds in 3 months. Yeah, that's not healthy. Not healthy at all.
So much weight that they lost. And I lost 30 pounds. So, you know, I lost 30. It was all right. But, yeah, that was, it was not a, I thought it was going to be a good experience. It was not
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah,
what was your worst cooking disaster? What went wrong and how did you salvage it? I don't know why I'm bringing up cooking. I think I was hungry when I wrote these.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Worst cooking disaster.
Hey, Rabbi.
Worst cooking disaster. Worst cooking disaster. How did I salvage it? Let's see. You know, well, the worst one, there was no salvaging it. Oh, yeah. It must have been It was the time, yes, when my kids were little, and I put a pizza in the oven, and then just got totally sidetracked, as happens when you have little kids, and didn't notice until it started smoking, and the whole house was smoking, and all that, and the pizza was a black disc, basically, is a black
Oh
frisbee.
my gosh.
And the only way, the only way to salvage it was we went out and got McDonald's. That's how we salvaged it. Yeah, that's it.
I just don't have a lot of cooking disasters in my life, except I had repeated cooking offenses, I would say. Like, for instance, I will always burn garlic toast because I always fucking forget that I put it in the oven. I fucking always forget. So
yes, I hear you. It's like you underestimate how long it needs to be in there, or underestimate.
Yeah.
And so it only needs to be in there for a few minutes.
They're not ready. So I'll close it back up, and then I'll be
5 seconds later, it's black. I've done that so many times. Yeah, I've done that a lot. Yeah.
So
I'm with you on that.
The other thing, every Thanksgiving, I make this huge spread, but when it comes to the vegetable, I don't do the bean casserole. I don't do anything like that. I will usually just warm up some corn or some green beans. Everything else, I go all out.
That's
just
fine.
not the veggie.
Yeah.
I just don't. I used to, but nobody really appreciated it, and I was like,
Why?
But then I would always forget to bring them out. I would just nuke them in the microwave. I wouldn't even warm them up on the stove.
I just remembered another one.
I always forget them in the microwave. So now it's a joke at Thanksgiving that we have to do that because that's a tradition.
That's funny.
Vegetable on the table.
That's
you have
funny.
to leave them in the microwave.
I do remember a Thanksgiving one year where it was a pretty large one, and we were having 2 turkeys. And I decided to do one outside in the barbecue and then another one in the oven. And so this was actually pretty bad because the one on the barbecue grill, I was using propane, and we ran out of propane with an hour to go. Yeah, and there's and we already had a turkey in the oven. Then so there was there's nothing I could do with that one. It just sat in the barbecue. And I had to okay, I guess I'm just waiting for this other oven to get open. That's all we can do. And then the one in the oven, the thermometer just didn't work right. So it was stuck at 140. And so and I was like, why isn't this going up? And it was there. And when that thing came out, it was like the driest sandpaper, fucking sawdust turkey, and everyone was like, wow, nice job. This is good. And I'm like, no, this is shit. This tastes like shit. And people were so nice, but luckily we had all kinds of other stuff, and it wasn't too bad. But yeah, it tastes like shit. It was terrible. So there's that one.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I have to say that I can proudly say I have never ruined Thanksgiving dinner, and I have never given anybody food poisoning. So I've cooked a lot of meals, so I think I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, there you go. It was one of those, those metal thermometers that you use, and you just stick it in the meat. I'm not using those anymore. I went all digital after that. Went totally digital.
For sure. Doug, one time he went to check something. I might have been turkey. I don't remember what. I posted it on Reddit when he did it because it was so funny. Anyway, he took a thermometer and he goes, I'm going to go check the meat or whatever. I'm like, yeah, there's a little thermometer out there. Go check the meat. And he goes, okay. And then a little bit later, I go to get dinner out and the thermometer is still in it. Only it wasn't an oven-safe thermometer, and so the whole top part is all just melted. I'm like, what were you? He goes, why would anybody make a thermometer that's not oven-safe in this day and age? I'm like, I probably had that for 20 years. That's why. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Oh no, that's great.
So that was funny.
Oh my God.
If you could steal one skill or talent from any guest on any show, what would it be and how would you use it tomorrow?
Oh, Deconstruction Zone's talent for knowing scripture. I would steal that all day in a heartbeat. Yeah. Like that's
Wait, I have
a
to
real
show
talent.
you something. Do you have his cheat sheet?
Mm-hmm. I got his Bad Bible cheat sheet, his spreadsheet. Yeah.
Okay.
I started with it, and then I made. Oh, look at that! Oh my goodness!
That's just from one page of his cheat sheet.
Look at that! Wow, you took it and ran with it.
I am gonna go
there you
even
go.
further. I'm gonna do more because one thing I like about it too is it's just all horrible, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just, there's nothing good, right? So if I'm ever like with a Christian, I literally could turn to any of these tabs. Let's see. Oh, here is where God kills the disobedient.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Here's where, let's see, this one, God kills the innocent. Oh,
Right.
So
right.
any tab is an argument, really.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it is.
his cheat sheet is amazing.
Oh, it's amazing. And it was a great starting point for, like, I just kind of built off, like, just like you did. I just built off my own cheat sheet. And now I got, like, all this shit on there. Like, I just went nuts. Yeah. Same thing as you. Yeah.
I have a friend who, we're not going to name him on this show anymore because he has made accusations that I steal all of his argumentations. Okay? So we won't mention this guy who wears a sweater and stuff. But anyway, this guy can sing.
Oh.
And I would be singing all the time. You guys just wouldn't get me to shut up if I could sing. I would just be like,
you would sing?
This interview would be a song. I would be like, if you could steal one skill or talent, I would sing it to you. Because what the fuck? You can sing? Get the fuck out of here. I'm singing all day long if I can sing. People would be sick of me. Oh, I wonder who it is, Tahir. I wonder who I'm talking about. He has a friend named Schmezzo. If that...
Oh. Okay. I was 50-50. It was a coin flip for me, but yes, I know who you're talking about. And it's just interesting because I'm guilty of stealing from people too, because I see something on a live that's like a really good topic, and I'm like, I want to use that, and then I'll do it. I've stolen shamelessly from Ian. Like I've taken from Ian. Yeah, I've taken from
Schmezzo told me. Schmezzo gave me the best advice ever. He said, Crystal, it's not that you steal that's the problem. It's that you keep giving him credit. We all steal and we don't give anybody credit. And I'm like,
okay, oh, that's how you have to do it.
That's where
Okay.
I've been making my mistake. Is that
that's where you make the mistake.
Telling people where I get my information from. I won't make that mistake again.
Okay, so we just can't give.
To Christian, where was the spirit? I told him I was going to tell everybody I made up all those songs from now on. I'm going to say, he goes,
there you go.
You're supposed to steal my songs. I'm like, nope,
yeah.
I'm stealing those too now.
You're
and
stealing
I'm not
them.
giving you
Just
credit.
take everything. Yeah, there you go. All right, okay. Well, you guys heard it. You heard it, everybody. If you steal something, don't give them credit. Just
don't
steal
give
it.
them credit. Just steal it.
Just
Be
take
proud
it.
of yourself.
Okay. I guess that's what we're doing from now on.
That's what we're doing. Okay. Name one tired internet trope or line that makes you immediately roll your eyes and give the better line you'd prefer people use.
What's the context?
Yes!
What's the context? Yep. What's the context? And all I can think of is I got your context right here. That would be my response if I was just mean and yeah. But oh man, if I have to hear that word in that sentence or that phrase, man, I would be the happiest person if no one ever said that again. But I guess that's just part of being in this.
I have a song about context. Have you heard my song?
No, let's hear your song.
It's all about
Let's
the
hear your song.
context.
Oh, that's not a contradiction. That's a good one, Forever Atheist.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. That's a good
not a
one, too.
contradiction.
It's not a
That's a good one, too. That's not a contradiction when it's clearly a contradiction. Yeah.
I used to, I told Schmezzo and his friend with the sweater that I do have some of my own arguments, you know? And he said, really? Let's hear one. So, you know how they always say that God didn't condone slavery? Like, I hate that so much. Like, he didn't condone it. He allowed it. Or whatever. It's like, what does that even mean? Do you hear yourself? Like, he doesn't condone.
Yeah.
So I came up with an argument for that, and you may steal this if you like.
Oh, thank you, Crystal. Okay.
Here's my argument. I tell people, you know, I'm a mother of three children. And a grandmother, by the way. I have one granddaughter and another grandchild on the way. And I do not condone stealing. I don't condone that at all. I think it's horrible, okay? I don't condone it, but I do realize that people do it. You know, they're gonna steal, right? Like, it's gonna happen in our time, right? Because that's the times we live in.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that my kids have some good rules on how to steal. And so I'm just giving them some rules on how to steal, when to steal, what stores to steal from, which one. I don't think they should steal from small businesses because that's just wrong. We want to help mom and pop businesses. So only large corporations. I want to make sure they know where the cameras are. And I don't think that makes me a bad mom. I'm not condoning it. I'm not condoning it. I just want them to have rules.
That's like bullseye right there. Okay, I'm stealing it. Okay, I'm taking it.
I do come up with some stuff, people.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Well, anybody can steal from me anytime. I don't care. So if you see something in my lives that I use and it's a good argument, take it. It's all open source. I don't care.
That's
you
what
don't even have to credit me.
says too.
Yeah. Don't even have to credit me. Just take it.
I should have been stealing from Schmezzo all along anyway. Schmezzo has better arguments. I hope my friend sees that.
Yeah. I shamelessly stole the cancer button. I stole the cancer button.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that argument that Ian does. It is a really good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I stole that one.
You guys, the guest box is open. If you have a question for Trust But Verify, you can come on up now. If you are too shy, if you can't get to a mic right now or you have a noisy background, just ask your questions in the comments, but do it all in caps.
Yeah.
You will not be muted in my live for typing all in caps when we're doing a Q&A, so feel free. Yeah, come up and ask some questions.
Yeah, I'd love to. Man, that was 10 questions already? Yeah, I love those icebreaker questions. Yeah, I love those. I like that, Crystal.
I like getting to know you guys more, and I think icebreaker questions are a fun way. Okay, what's your favorite thing about hosting lives? That's what Tahir wants to know.
My favorite thing about hosting lives is interacting with with my guests and also the folks that come in and I love that. Oh man, the questions are rolling in. Tahir, I love that when folks are interacting with the guests in the chat and just the activity that's going on in the chat, and you know, the fact that people are there and talking and all that stuff. Yeah, that's what I like the best about it.
Awesome.
Zeno
says, we love you, Trust. That's all I got.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I love you too. Yeah, appreciate you guys.
7 says, Trust, how are your noodle arms?
My arms are so fucking sore. Yeah, I had that fundraiser on Saturday for hairtostay.org, and about that, we raised over $125, but TikTok fucking took over half of it. Like I ended up with $49.62. So what I'm going to do is I'll show the videos, but I'm going to, yeah, that was awesome. But TikTok took so much from the gifts, but I'm going to make up the difference. So it'll be a total 125. That's going to heritostay.org. So that's what I'm going to do.
And what does that organization do?
Heritostay.org is a nonprofit that's dedicated to ending hair loss from chemotherapy. So they subsidize this cold capping therapy, which it's a really, really cold cap you put on your head. It's pretty expensive, but they subsidize that for people who can't afford the treatment. And
wow.
So they've donated. If you guys can help me out from the live, they said it in there, but it's I think they've done like over $14 million over the past 16 years, and they've helped like hundreds of people, get this therapy, and especially especially for women, losing your hair is like a big deal. It's like a big thing, and it's estimated up to 8% of women will not either change their chemotherapy regimen or not do it at all because of the fear of losing their hair, because it just makes you feel like, it's like undignified and it's traumatic and all that stuff, especially if you're going through surgery, like my wife went through surgery, and just the fact of that, and then having to lose your hair, it's just a lot. So
it is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. So heritostay.org. Yeah.
You don't realize that, okay, so first of all, you're diagnosed with cancer, which is fucking traumatizing.
Yes.
If you haven't had the C word said to you in a doctor's office before, you are a blessed person, okay? I don't even use the word blessed, okay? But you are a very lucky person, okay? Because
very fortunate.
I had stage 3 malignant melanoma a few years ago. I didn't have to go through anything like that. I just had surgery, luckily, okay? And so far, so good, okay?
You're in remission? That's the... love that.
Yeah, and I passed the 5-year mark, but because I am so fair-skinned, and I did have several severe burns in my life, because it was the 70s. Nobody gave a shit, okay? I was a little kid. I didn't have any choice in the fucking matter. My parents, and those sunburns, are something that I have to now think about for the whole rest of my life. And so I go in regularly for body scans and stuff. So you have the trauma, the fact that you have cancer, but every bit of your dignity is stripped away when you're a cancer patient.
Absolutely.
You are poked at, prodded at.
Yes.
People come in and look at you that are not even your fucking doctors and stuff.
Oh, that's right.
You have no fucking idea. Like, people... Yeah. It becomes to the point where you just have no dignity left, and then you're gonna lose all your hair too. And so you're already facing a deadly disease that is scary and terrifying, that all treatments are horrible. There's no treatment that's like a breeze for somebody with cancer. You get surgery, you get chemo, you get all kinds of things that are not
radiation, everything. Yeah.
And now, and now you're going to lose your hair too. Like, I don't think people realize that when you're going through chemo, other people in your house can't even use the toilet you use, because you're it's radio fucking active.
I remember that. Yeah, that's right. I had to, or we just had to be sure that the toilets were flushed, everything. Yeah. You can't, you can't.
Have to double flush and stuff.
You have to double flush. You're immunocompromised. So you like, here's the thing. I got sick twice. Her first day, her surgery day, and then her first day of chemo, and I felt so bad, but I couldn't go because if I got her sick, then it might have canceled her surgery if I got her sick, or canceled her chemo if I got her sick. So I had to like stay in another room for, over a week. And and that's the thing. Yeah, if you have one bathroom, you got to like clean the toilet thoroughly and then use it. It's a big deal. It affects everybody. So
it really does.
But
it affects everybody.
Exactly. And so this Here to Stay, it may seem so trivial and so minimal, but it's just one less thing that people have to worry about. It's one less reason to not get to, that one less reason that they don't have to worry about getting treatment, because they have to think about everything. So it's just one less thing to think about. Yeah.
There it is. It's hairtostay.org right there. Trust, is there any way that people can donate directly to you or in some way if they want to help out your cause?
I would say just donate straight to them, because if you donate to TikTok, it's just going to fuck everything up. I don't want it to do that again. I didn't realize TikTok took so much. Yeah, because it's just not fair that TikTok took so much from, and everybody hung out that on Saturday and worked so hard and donated. I just feel bad, but just go straight to their website.
You still did a really good job, and you're getting the word out there, which is really important. Like, because I never heard of it before, and so people are going to hear about it because of you, and that's even more important. Okay. Yeah. Awareness is really important.
Yeah. That's what it really was about. Yeah, you're right. That's what it was about.
Yeah. Also, just so you know, like, Justin has done many fundraisers, and that happens to us too, because he did that huge fundraiser for me. And I want people to know that, like, when you do a fundraiser like this for somebody pays those taxes. Okay, I just want you to know that, because anything you get on TikTok is taxable. So even if I'm taking that money and donating to somebody else, I pay the taxes because I
pay the taxes.
Money.
Yeah, exactly.
So I am proud to say that Justin has started a nonprofit organization. It is brand new. We don't have funds. Don't come to me for funds yet, okay? We don't have funds yet, but you'll be seeing us do some real fundraisers for a real nonprofit organization. I am on the board of directors. I feel very proud to have been asked to be on the board of directors for his organization. And we hope to be doing some fundraisers here in the end of 2025 and more so in 2026 to help people in our community who need help with either medical bills or, I don't know why I just typed that, and I meant to type in the organization. I typed in your name instead.
That's okay.
Into the YouTube. I meant to type in hairtostay.org. But so anyway, you will see that, and that way none of us will be taxed when we do the fundraisers, and we'll be helping people right here in the community. There are so many people in our community who need help.
That's awesome.
They need food.
Awesome.
They've been kicked out because they're not a Christian anymore, so they're home, without a home. They need so many people who can't afford their medication. To be honest with you, I am supposed to be on Wegovy because of my weight, because I'm pre-diabetic, and because I have thyroid disease and have a very hard time taking that weight off. But I can't afford it because my insurance doesn't cover it. So there's so many people like me who can't take their medication that they should be taking because they simply can't afford it. And there's far more serious medication than what I need. Okay, like obviously,
for sure.
But my weight is a health issue, and it is putting my health at risk. But there are people who can't get their immune disorder medication, like AK. I don't know if you know AK. Hers costs like $15,000 freaking a month or something.
Oh my God! $15,000 a month.
Yeah, and her deductible is like $1,000, and she has insurance. Her deductible is like $1,000 alone. And she can't get on disability. They're denying her disability. Even with these serious disease, I don't know if it's a disease. I wouldn't call it that. Like syndromes or what have you, Yeah. But anyway, it's a hard place that the community is in. And we want to help people. And we hope that when we do these, you guys will be a part of it. But right now, if you can, please donate to hairtostay.org. That sounds like a really amazing
it's an amazing mission. Yeah. So it's a great nonprofit to support. And then coming up, and yes, I haven't missed your question to here. I'll get to it in a second. But I'm actually starting fundraising for Toys for Tots. So essentially, I stole this idea from oh my goodness, what's the name? It's a creator on here, and it's one of the creators. He's got like, I don't know, at least 100,000 followers, but he set out a challenge to all the creators to do a fundraiser for Toys for Tots. So essentially, he gets toys. Yeah, he gets toys from TikTok. He does the shop thing, like he advertises them, and then all the proceeds go to Toys for Tots, and then all the toys that he gets, he donates to Toys for Tots. So
Wow.
so not only is he
That's really
fundraising
cool.
for them, yeah, all the commissions he makes goes to Toys for Tots, all the toys that he gets goes to Toys for Tots, everything. And so I'm taking on that too. So I'm going to start doing that as well. So
I really like that.
yeah.
I used
Yeah.
to be a reseller, as I said, and so often I would have brand new toys from buying
Yeah.
out certain things or whatever, and I would every year challenge my resellers to go through their stock, buying toys that they haven't sold yet that are brand new in a package, and go take them to Toys for Tots, because
Absolutely.
every reseller had some of those in their inventory that we're just sitting there anyway. You bought 5,000 Hot Wheels and you only sold 42. The rest of them go fucking donate.
Yeah, just donate them. Yeah, exactly.
Donate them and
Get the tax
yourself a
write-off.
tax
Exactly.
write-off. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. Get the tax write-off. Yes. So that's what I'm going to be doing for this. But to answer Tahir's question, the noodle arms were because all the folks in the chat were making me do fucking push-ups every 10,000 likes. And
Oh,
I did
wow.
not think that they were going to do 10,000 likes. So I was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Yeah, I'll do 10 push-ups every 10,000 likes. So I ended up doing like 80 push-ups that day. And so my arms are so sore. I'm still sore from Saturday.
I'll tell you what, you
But-
guys, every 10,000 likes, I will drink some water.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Just a
That's
tiny
the
sip
kind
though,
of
because exactly, you don't want to get hyponatremia, you know?
right, exactly. And also, this cup is heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy. So it's yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you can come up. Sure.
Yeah, come on up.
Come on up.
Tahir, you're killing me, Tahir. That's funny. Stakes aren't high enough.
Stakes are high enough. Hey, Noah, I can't read everything your name says. Noah, is that good?
Noah Squatch?
Noah Squatch, yeah.
Hey, how you doing, Noah Squatch?
Okay.
Doing all right? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you pretty good.
Okay, awesome. So I just kind of had a question. I'm doing the deconstruction a little bit backwards. I stopped believing a long time ago, and I thought that was enough. But now, especially having spent a lot of time studying in your lives, both of you and others, I've been realizing just how much of it I've been carrying with me, Christianity and all of that, and really how directly, I mean, like it feels in a big way like kind of the root of a lot of our social problems and harms throughout history, and it's like really making me want to understand it more, and I just what you all do inspires me a lot.
Awesome.
Because, I personally had experienced a lot of harm from different religions in my childhood, and so anyway, what I'm getting to is like I'm trying to learn more and read more, and like I don't want to pick up the Bible I currently have because like it's a KJV, and I've had it forever, and I'm not interested, and I'm trying to like, what would be a good Bible for me to start with?
Okay, that's a
I
good
use
question.
the NRSV. I don't
Same.
have the updated edition.
Yeah.
Perfect.
NRSV.
Yeah.
I use the updated edition
That's the one you
online.
should use.
Yeah, that's the one you should use. It's the one that it's the scholarly Bible, and it's the one that the Hebrew and Greek scholars and Aramaic scholars it's most closely translated to the original languages.
Awesome. Yeah, because,
I got this one on. I just want to tell you so you know. This is just the NRSV, so it's not updated, but there's the updates you can just there's not huge, okay. But I only paid like $25 for it. It was on Amazon, and it has the Apocrypha in it too, which I wanted.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Kind
Actually,
of fun to be able to read the Apocrypha too. So it is the NRSV. It's the Journal the Word Bible. Journal the Word. Oh wait, I don't. Yeah, and so it has space too in the pages for you to. Oh, you can't see. Oh, there. See the page.
There you go.
Spaces.
yes.
To put notes.
The
For
margins.
notes.
So I like that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And also, one little tip, and you'll appreciate this, Crystal, as a reseller or former reseller, you can buy a used copy on Amazon, and it will help a small business instead of Amazon gets their cut, but it will better help a small business because it's usually like just small people, just
like
people
me.
working out of their homes or their garages that are reselling stuff on Amazon. So yeah, buy a used copy, and you'll pay like half price for it. So it helps everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I just I have a really, I love history and all. I have a really broad overview of religion and Christianity. I grew up in a quiverful family cult setting, and we did move around a lot, and spent time in a lot of different genres, as it were. But I'm just realizing now that I feel like I need to start back with the base, material and work out from there. And I heard somebody say something about, if the first line in your Bible is this instead of this, just toss it out because it's not even worth reading. And sure enough, I was like, and I pulled out my old King James, my New King James, and sure enough, it was the wording, the first few words or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's because they changed it to say in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, but the actual words should say in the beginning when God created the heavens and the earth was formless, because he created the heavens and the earth, but he did not create the water that was on the earth or anything else. So it's a distinction that is important to the creation story,
Yeah.
So
exactly.
On that, if I could add, I'm sure you guys have all read it, I don't know, but add a book. The predominant problem with Christianity seems to a lot be the he right there, in that he created. But anyway, I just finished reading a book my friend suggested, which was When God Was a Woman. And
isn't that a great book?
Was I pulled it up on Libby, and I put it on my headphones and went through it in one sit, like while I did my chores and stuff all day, and now I have to get a hard copy because I need to go back.
Yes,
that was so amazing. And
do you know Skeptic Gal?
Yes.
Do you watch her? Okay, yes. She reads from that book all the time too.
All the you guys, I've been listening now for a little while. All the names you mentioned, I love these lives. These are my they're doing a lot for me, and they're making me really feel like I need to do some reading and maybe stretch my theological wings a little bit, because
absolutely
it causes so much harm and so much pain, and I don't know.
I hear you, man.
Appreciate y'all so much.
Yeah, we appreciate you too.
With that right there.
Yeah, and I will say,
are you in the Deconstruction Junction Discord server?
No, I'm not. I've heard them mention it a few times, and I
Yeah.
just haven't gotten
It's
around
in
to
my
it.
bio.
I'm only in a couple discords. I am in yours, Trust.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you
but
are.
I need to
That's
join
right.
yours.
Yeah, I haven't really.
Yeah, you got to join mine.
Done a lot. I'm just kind of getting out of the lurking in the background because
Oh, good.
I've
Take
been-
your time, man.
Yeah. So awesome, and I really
Yeah.
appreciate
You
it.
were gonna say
Or-
something to him, Trust, and I interrupted. Please.
It's
you
all
were
good.
gonna
No,
say
no.
something.
You're fine. You're fine. First of all, stay a lurker as long as you need to, man. Just do this at your own pace. I know that, especially for everybody's deconstruction journey is going to be a little different. Everybody is coming from different places of like trauma or all this other stuff, right? There's going to be some elements of grief, because at least for me, it felt like I lost
Absolutely.
something. Yeah, and
Yeah,
you
me
have to go
too.
through that grieving process, and especially if it was an abusive piece to it. So there's grief, there's abuse. I mean, there's just all kinds of things you got to recover from. So I totally feel for you, and it's just go easy on yourself, take your time, all that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of the hot spot of intersectionality,
Mhm.
I kind of I mean, like, okay, so back in like the 80s, my parents were friends with like Joel Salatin.
Mm.
I don't know.
So
Wait, who is that?
big evangelist.
Oh,
Yeah, look
Yeah.
it up. There's a lot of culty stuff in that.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
found the deconstruction space here through the escape the cult space with Mastagnac. She wrote the book Uncultured.
mm.
And whatnot. She came from the Children of God cult,
Mhm.
cult, and so that was like my type. Like you can imagine,
Yeah.
Yeah.
heavily neurodivergent queer child, very large, very toxic,
Yeah. Yeah.
very culty family, and always finding the cult in whatever region we went to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
And they were really trying to shove you in that round, that square peg in the round hole thing. Yeah. Oh man.
Very much so.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
But I feel like one way or another, it's all of our story.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be all the same, but it's all we Christianity's there. I hear everybody. There's a saying that I've heard come back around, but I remember it differently. There's no love like Christian hate, I think is what people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember it being said within church groups, like kind of tongue-in-cheek by the like more outsider-ish members or whatever. There was no love like Christian love, and it was kind of saying the same thing, but a little bit differently. It's like saying
It's like
heck
code
instead
words.
of hell. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and I will say I like this. I heard this on Justin's live not too long ago. Essentially, he said if you just read the Bible, you're going to be like way far ahead of other people who believe and don't read the Bible.
Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
I've read the Bible through on multiple occasions in my youth, and I was the kid with all the questions, but you don't ask questions.
Right.
So, none of it ever worked or made sense to me. And I've spent my life, I'm 32 now, and I've spent, 27 years trying to either, believe because I believed it was true. It didn't make sense to me because that's what everyone around me was, or it was I believed because I was afraid not to, And now I'm like, well, shoot. I mean, like, I keep hearing people ask, well, on these lives, well, what if you did get proof? What if you did, after you pass whatever, show up for judgment, and you did have that proof so you could believe. And I'm like, okay, fine, I believe, but that doesn't change the fact that I'm never going to take a knee to this piece of, what I mean? It's like, it doesn't, like, I will burn for all eternity, and, whatever, it sounds like all the cool people are going there anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's go have a freaking barbecue.
That's a good point.
And
that's a good point.
I like some of the hot cocktails, some of the hot drinks, So it's like, I'm down.
I guess we'll just all suffer together, huh?
Yeah.
I'm into spicy food. I love spicy food. I can hang out with some
I will
spice,
say amen to that. Yes.
Yeah. For sure.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you all so much. I'm gonna go back to lurking. I'm a little unable.
Right on, Noah.
But thank you so much.
Well, thanks for coming up.
Well, we appreciate you too, Noah.
Around.
Yeah, appreciate you coming up, man.
Thank you for coming up. We appreciate you. Big W in the chat for Noah, everybody.
Yeah,
and
big
also,
W for Noah.
Okay, I'll drop you. Here we go. If you are not a part of the Deconstruction Junction Discord server, I don't know what you're doing. Because even if you're on other Discord servers, this Discord server is full of resources. There are so many amazing creators that are a part of the Discord server. And you
100%.
can ask people... You can drop a question anywhere and somebody's going to give you an amazing answer. So check out the Deconstruction Junction Discord server. Yes. It's a great community.
I'd like to add, Crystal, and if ever a tag pre-sup infects your Discord server, do no more than go over to Deconstruction Junction for some support and to rant and all that stuff. Because I just want to say, my Discord did get infected with a tag pre-sup, and I just went over there and vented and bitched and moaned and got a lot of support. So, yes.
Well, now can we mention recoveringfromreligion.org too? Yes, we can.
Yes.
It's a great place for you to get help if you are recovering from a religion and you need some therapy. They're going to help you find some great secular therapists. There's all kinds of resources there for people who are recovering from religion. But also I want to tell you that Psychology Today, I don't remember if it's a .com or .org. I think it's .com. Psychology Today also has secular therapists available on there now. So if you need therapy, and to me, I had therapy all through COVID because that was a very hard thing for me to deal with mentally. The fact that fucking other human beings did not give a shit about other human beings, was just really fucking with my brain. I could not understand. To grow up
100.
In the time I grew up, with all the warnings we were told as children, you have no idea what it was like to grow up in the 70s being warned of how measles almost brought us all to extinction, and the plague and all of this stuff, and how just wearing a mask could save lives and things like that. And then for it to fucking happen and have people literally say, I won't wear a mask, was just more than my brain could fathom. And now it's happening with Nazis. I grew up where I was told we defeated the Nazis and nobody would ever let them rise to power again. And I used to think, would little Crystal have been a Nazi? And now I don't have to think about that because I'm fucking living it, and no, I'm not a fucking Nazi. What the fuck? What is going on with the world? Anyway, I digress, But
I'm with you, Crystal, 100%.
So I I had a great therapist during COVID. She is in Australia though, and she was doing it to help people during COVID. Doug had lost his job because of COVID, and we were in a tight spot, and I needed
Oh,
therapy.
wow.
And she was so sweet and did video conferencing with me and stuff, and she was secular, and it was amazing. But then when that was over and I needed to go find a therapist, and we had insurance now, and I could go find one local, oh my God. And I live in California, people. It was so hard to find a secular therapist until people told me about recovering from religion and psychology today and all these resources. So they are out there. Find yourself a good secular therapist, okay? You
Yeah,
don't
for
need
sure.
somebody who's in there praying for you when you're telling
Yeah.
them about your religious trauma, okay? You don't need
100%.
that. So I want to know a little bit more about you. What faith did you grow up in, or did you grow up in a faith?
I did. I grew up Christian, actually raised Catholic. My mom is
Okay.
still very, very much Catholic. She goes to church. She goes to mass every day, and she's 85 years old. Still goes to mass every day. Every day, yeah.
Wow.
And I was fully into the church. I mean, there were moments, during my childhood where I would doubt, if God was real and things like that. But then it seemed to always get answered, in a satisfactory way. When I was a kid, I was an altar boy. I was when I got old enough, I was a liturgical minister. I was a Eucharistic minister, all that stuff. So I was, I sang in the choir, all that stuff, and went to a parochial school, went to, a private high school, private college prep, all that stuff. And then I think about halfway through my senior year in high school, I suddenly felt like I got a calling to join the priesthood. Talked to one of my instructors, my theology teacher, about it, who was a priest. And he basically said, what I would advise you to do is read the entire Bible, because if you're going to have you want to know what's in there, number one, but if you're going to have a crisis of faith, which is kind of funny, he seemed to anticipate something like that. He said, but if you're going to have a crisis of faith, have it now, not 20 years from now. And then,
Yeah.
And when you've taken your vows and all that, you're going to have that experience, and you're going to be able to draw upon that when people come to you. And I said, okay,
I
that makes a
like
lot of
that.
sense. It took me about somewhere between 6 and 8 months to read the entire thing. And I came away with a whole bunch of questions, tons of
Oh,
questions,
wow.
just tons of questions. And I was like, and see, that's the funny thing, Crystal, is you think that you know the Bible when you're a liturgical minister, because they read passages in mass, they read something from the Old Testament, they read something from the New Testament, they read something from the gospel. So you're thinking that you're getting everything from the Bible. It's really easy to think that. And no, you
Yeah.
don't. They really, really edit it. And
Yeah.
very similar to the reality TV talk that we had earlier. They really changed things. It's in a completely different lens. So when you're reading all this stuff like about slavery and about child trafficking and about genocide and just all this stuff, the threats that God's making about destroying people and all that, you're just like, wow, this isn't the loving God that I thought I knew. What's going
No.
on here? And then I started getting, and then I took my questions to people I knew. I was like, what about this? What about this? What about that? And then, sometimes I'd hear some satisfactory answers. Sometimes I'd hear, just go read more Bible. Sometimes I'd hear, it's a mystery, we can't really comprehend God. God is on a different level than us. Oh, look at that beautiful cat. So sweet.
This is Sputnik. This
That's
is one of the
Sputnik?
kittens. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sputnik.
yeah. He's very large too. He's a big boy. So yeah, and then another read through the Bible, more questions. Then another, and then just kind of rinse and repeat. Another read through, even more questions. And it just got to a point where I'm just having doubts about this, just having all kinds of
Yeah.
doubts. And then eventually I went to deist. I became left the Catholic Church, became a Christian, then became a deist. then an agnostic, now an agnostic atheist. Yeah. So that was the journey.
I went from like not believing to just being like, if this God isn't real, none of them are. So I didn't even look at anything else after that.
Yeah,
Because what really, okay, so I always say there's just, people don't deconstruct because of one tiny thing, okay?
It's a lot of things, yeah.
It's a lot of things. But I will say that it came to a point where I do remember thinking, how come I think all this other shit is mythology and this is just the same story with a different God's name?
Interesting.
And I don't think that's mythology. So what makes it not mythology? You know what I mean? Like I started to struggle with that. Why did I think this story was any more true than any other story? Like, I would never fall for this shit if you put some other God's name on it. I would have been like, no loving God would tell you to sell your daughter, you idiot. You know, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have fallen for it. But also, you know, I also want to touch on the fact that, can we just sit in the fact that so many people in churches have zero qualifications for teaching Bible study or Sunday school? Zero, because I was one of them. Zero fucking qualifications. And I was teaching
that's
you
right.
guys
I did Sunday school too.
And Bible
I taught
study.
Sunday school too. That's right. I know shit about the Bible.
I didn't know shit. I fucking would go home, study, figure out a little story or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, who the fuck? Why do we just go, oh, you want to volunteer to teach people about something that's supposed to affect not only their entire life, but their afterlife, and you have no pre-existing qualifications in theology? Fucking go for it, babe. Go coach you loser.
Yeah, exactly. Our qualifications were we had a heartbeat. That's what it was.
Yeah, exactly. You stepped up, so God must have called you. That's what happened,
right.
you know.
Come on. Yep,
it's just
exactly.
crazy. I had no right to be doing that, and I apologize to any human being that I taught. I'm sorry. And we do non-believers Bible study on Wednesday, and I don't want you guys to think that I teach that. I don't. I lead it, and we go through it together, and we all talk, and we all ask questions, and then we look up the answers, or we talk to Rabbi Hannah or Rabbi Bert or whoever, and they help us go through the Bible. But I have since realized I have no right in teaching anybody like the Bible. I have no right. Okay?
I have no right. Yeah, exactly.
I'm learning it myself, you know? So what were, other than you started having those questions, were there other things that started to crack the foundation of your faith?
Not really. I mean, just those questions about the Bible itself, but then thinking about just the concept of God in the general sense, in terms of, you know, like the problem of evil. That's a big one. You know, like this concept of heaven and hell. Like I've been doing a series of lives lately on evidence of hell existing. And I'm coming to find, and I think this is kind of why I'm doing it, is because I started thinking about the concept of heaven and hell, and I'm like, what really is it? What is hell? What is heaven? What do you do there? Yeah. And then, and then beyond anything, when you start just kind of probing a little bit, Crystal, you start asking these questions, like nobody really knows. Nobody really knows if these are places you actually go. Nobody really knows. And the ones who think they do know, if you ask 20 different people, like what happens in heaven, you'll get 20 different answers. And to me, that gets me thinking, like, okay, if nobody really knows, but then there are some people who think they know and they're giving you all kinds of different answers, that sounds like it's just imagination. That sounds like they're just making it up. It doesn't sound like anything true, right? It's like, how would we know any of this is true? And
Exactly.
that stuck with me for a long time, you know, like, and it's really like, and it's things that are very vague, you know, descriptions, like it's just an internal separation from God. Like, well, what the fuck does that mean? I mean,
Right?
I'm kind of feeling like an eternal separation from God right now. So if it feels anything
That's
like
what
this,
I'm saying.
well,
I'm
ain't so
okay.
bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But,
Fucking
yeah,
sign me up, because I've been
yeah,
living on this hellish earth for fucking nearly 60 years and I've survived the hell out of this, okay?
yeah,
If I can survive this and hell is just separation from God, then I've already done it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
Then we've
that's
already done it.
ridiculous.
Exactly.
But it never
And
says that. It's the
mm-mm.
weirdest thing that they always say that, but that is never a description of hell anywhere that I've seen is
Yeah.
separation. I
Except like little vague
it's
phrases here and there. Like, yeah, and you have to really read
yeah.
into it, right? Yeah.
But when they
But
specifically talk about how, like, God, Jesus in Revelation talks about torment, not
yeah,
separation. You
no,
know?
it's torment. Yeah. And then there's passages in
Yeah.
the New Testament, like hell is where the demons are chained and awaiting judgment.
Mm.
You know, it's like a prison for demons,
Yeah.
things like
Yeah.
that. And yeah, it's like, and so it's like nobody really knows. And so then it just seems so fear based, you know, like it's
Yeah.
just, I don't know what it is, but I don't want to go there type of thing, you know. And it's almost like when your parents used to tell you that, you know, it's like, you know, if you get in trouble, you don't want to know what's going to happen to you. It's going to be so bad you don't even want to know.
You don't
know?
even want to know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so it just seems more like fear of the unknown. And then just the
It
more I
is.
thought about it, yeah, and I was like, man, this is feeling a lot like Monsters in the Closet type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's feeling a lot like that. So I was like, okay.
It is. It is my strong belief
Mm-hmm.
that without fear, this religion would not exist at all.
Yeah,
The entire religion is based on fear
I
from the
think so.
very first story. Every
Yeah.
story thereafter is about scaring you. And you know the problem is that if you really wanted to sell me a God, and if people, you know what, if you're listening right now and you want to know what it would take for me to believe in a God, you're gonna need to show me a God that is loving, that makes me want to love him, because all his attributes, or hers, whatever, its attributes, are just so loving that I can't help but to love them, because that's who I fall in love with. I fall in love with people who are loving. And this God is not loving in the entire Bible. Nothing says I want to he seems to want to hug me. He seems to want to just take care of me and make sure I'm okay. None of that feels like that in that Bible. Every
Yeah.
single part of it is fucking listen to me, or I am going to punish you in the most heinous things I can think of,
Yeah.
including
Yeah.
grape
But I love you.
and eating
It's
your babies.
it's a mob boss. That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah.
That this
You know,
God is a mob boss. Yeah. And
yeah, so
and you know,
why isn't he more lovable?
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Why isn't
Right?
he? And so I think of it like that. Because I think of it as I did this on my live recently. I compared God to Pablo Escobar, because I was like, well, Pablo Escobar gave millions of dollars away, helped poor
Yep.
people in Colombia, you know, ran for office, you know, did all these philanthropic things, yet at the same time was burying bodies all over Colombia. You know, like there were like mass
Yeah.
graves because of this dude, and you know, at the same time. So would we really call that guy a good guy because he was
Right?
called loving? He loved his family. He did all these loving things, but would we call him a good guy? No, we would
Yeah, I don't
not.
think
He
so.
was a monster.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he was a monster. He was an
Exactly.
absolute monster. And you know, and
Exactly.
a lot of serial unalivers, like the BTK guy. He was a church going insurance guy, raised a family, all this other
He
stuff,
got
and
caught because of
he
the
got
church.
caught. Yes, he got caught
He
because of
got
the
caught
church.
Because he fucking used a disc at a church.
At a
and
church.
then he thought he deleted it, and because you don't really delete anything, it's still on there.
Exactly.
They forensically figured out what church, which computer, what time, and then he was sitting there when it happened. He literally got caught because of church.
Caught red-handed, literally red-handed. Yes. But he was like, they thought he was like a pillar of the community, and he had like, what, it was like 25 victims or something like that. I mean, he was horrible. He was horrible.
Have you ever heard my BTK story? I know it would derail our conversation if I tell you, but we're just getting to know each other, so it would be cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta tell me this. Come on, you got a BTK story, yeah.
I got a very good BTK story. I moved to Wichita. And in 1995, I think we moved to Wichita. In, 1994, we moved to Wichita. And eventually, I would meet some people in this church. I became a Quaker. If you will.
A Quaker?
And in the church, the pastor had 2 sons and a daughter, and I became very close with them and their spouses. And so one of their spouses became one of my best friends, and she had disassociation disorders. So she had what many people call multiple personalities. And I was her closest friend, so I knew the personalities. I knew when, because people think that people who have that all of a sudden, like, their whole face and demeanor changes, and that might happen for some people, but that's not how it works for most people. They literally will still sometimes sound and look exactly like who they are, but there'll be things that are clues that is not the same personality, not the main personality, right? So I knew all her personalities, and I got to know her very well, and found out that she was very abused as a child, and that's why, you know. Man. And she came to me, and and this is before it's been solved, okay? And she said, I need to tell you something. I think my father was BTK. And I go, no. Who's BTK?
Shut up. Nuh-uh.
I'm serious.
No.
And I said, who's BTK? And if you guys don't know who BTK is, go look it up, because it stands for bind, torture, and
unalive,
he was a serial killer in Wichita. Okay, so anyway,
no way, this is wild.
Like, okay, why? And she goes, well, there's several reasons, but the main is because on his deathbed he told me he was. And my father was so abusive, and the abusive techniques that he used on me are very similar to the ones that BTK used on his victims. And her father was a pastor, by the way, so he would abuse her the night before, sexually and physically, and then make her sit in the front row as he preached love and acceptance to everybody else, you know. And so here she was being severely abused, and he was preaching love. Anyway, I digress. So she tells me, I think he's BTK, and I'm like, okay, so what do you want? Like, what does this have to do with me? What's going on? What? And she said, I have talked to Detective Landwehr. If you look that up, you'll see that's the detective that was on the case. And she said, he wants me to try to get some evidence against my father. And so if I go to my family and tell them that I think my father was BTK, they're going to, like, have serious issues. It could become violent. It might not be good.
Yeah.
So, we got to 20,000 likes. Sorry, I have to take some water.
Oh, yep, you gotta do your thing. Exactly.
Anyway, every 10,000 likes, you guys, I will drink water. Okay, so if you want me hydrated, tap this screen.
Crystal will stay hydrated. Yep, keep tapping. Exactly. Keep tapping if you want Crystal to stay hydrated.
It makes my skin look younger. Okay, anyway, so she says, will you come with me to my mom's house? I know when she's not going to be home. If you will just, you know, basically basically break into my mom's house with me and help me find evidence against my father. Also, if you would swab my cheeks while, videotape me swabbing my cheeks, and I'm going to send in a swab to have DNA test done and everything. And I said, okay, I think I still have the video of me swabbing her cheeks, by the way. If I ever do, I'll post it in the Discord so people can see.
That's wild. That's wild.
So
Wow.
I did it. I broke in this person's house. Well, it was unlocked, or she had the key or something, but we got in when her mom wasn't home. Went through the closets and we found, and I'm not shitting you, these are the items we found, okay? We found a box of women's clothes that belonged to her father that were not her mother's clothes, that were not her clothes or anybody related to her. She was like, what the fuck? It was like negligees and shit, okay? Her mom would have never worn those. She was a very, very devout Christian woman. She would have never worn anything like that, not even for her husband. And we found a watch that said J.O. on the back. If you know the story of BTK, you know that the very first thing that went missing was Jose Ortega's watch. And this said J.O. on the fucking back of it. And then we found his Rolodex. So it had all the addresses, like from the area where BTK was. And we found his old razor, so we had some skin and stuff that we
had
could
some
send
DNA.
in DNA analysis.
Oh,
yes.
no.
So we took all that and we sent it over to Detective Landwehr. It was a Tuesday afternoon. I remember very clearly. Okay? It was in March. I remember it so clearly.
This is so
because
fucking
the
wild.
very next day, we get a call from Detective Landwehr. And he says, your father's not BTK. Oh, I left out a tiny bit of the story. Before we did all this, after she first told me, before we go collect all the evidence and send it to Detective Landwehr, we were on, hey, Brad, good to see you. We were on, what's the profiler's name? Douglas. He's really famous. Silence of the Lambs is based on him. He was an FBI profiler back in like the 80s or something. Something Douglas. Anyway, whatever his name is, if you look him up, he was a top FBI profiler. And he was the first person who or one of the first people who would do be able to look at the evidence and tell you what kind of a person you were looking for. Like you're looking for a middle-aged man. He's probably white because they all are. No, anyway, he would do that, right? Anyway, that's just true. Anyway, so he had message boards back in the day. And there was different cases where you could go. And so there was one about BTK on his message boards. And we were active. After she told me, we were very active. So we said, we are collecting evidence against Michelle's father, and we're going to send it in to Detective Landwehr. We said that on the fucking boards. As a matter of fact, some of the things we said on the boards were so scary because sometimes it seemed like people heard our private phone calls. Because one time I said, well, one of the reasons BTK might not be active anymore is because back then he used to cut the telephone wires, but we have cordless phones now. We didn't all have cell phones back then, so I wasn't saying that, but we had cordless phones, and he likes to go to areas that don't have dogs or whatever. And now we know why, because he was a dog catcher, and so he knew which dogs might attack him, which ones wouldn't. So he tried to avoid homes with dogs and stuff. Anyway, and so somebody repeated that almost verbatim what I said in a private phone conversation. What you don't know is BTK used to be able to get into the telephone lines and listen to private conversations. Mm-hmm. He knew how to do that. Yeah. So I started going, oh my God, is he fucking listening to us? And then somebody on that board said, if you're listening, BTK, leave some evidence out there, make it a cereal box. And somebody else said, make it purple. And he left a cereal box with a purple floppy disk for the police to find. And that's what got him caught, by the way.
No way. That's wild.
We get a call from Detective Landwehr saying, your father's not BTK. And she goes, that is just wild. They've already done the DNA test. I said, no, they haven't. It's been 1 day. No DNA test is done in 1 day. Name one case where a DNA test is done in 1 day.
Yeah.
I said, I think he's contacted them. And she was like, what? And I go, it's not your dad because your dad's dead. And whoever did this contacted them. So hey, they hadn't caught him yet. But because he had done that communication, that's what told Detective Landwehr that her dad wasn't it. Anyway, so obviously her dad wasn't it. They did catch Dennis Rader, who was BTK. But I will tell you something.
That's right.
That FBI profiler talked to us for a while, and he said, I was going to tell you something. And he has since said things publicly after they caught him that I would say is a contradiction to what he told us, okay? He has been very contradictory to what he told us. He said, I'm not so sure BTK did these crimes alone. Because in case you don't know, the first thing he does, the very first one he does is an entire family. And people always wondered, how did he subdue this whole family? And obviously had a pew-pew, so that's not going to be that hard, really. But he thought that maybe her father and him did it together. And I still think that's a possibility. Her father was kind of weird. Like, she said that sometimes he, like, more than once, okay? He came home bloodied. And they would be like, why are you like covered in blood? And 2 times, on 2 occasions, he said this happened. He was driving down the highway and saw a motorcycle accident and had to help the victim. In all my life, I have never happenstanced across a motorcycle accident where somebody is so bloody, I have to help them. And 2, to have it happen twice in my lifetime.
Yeah.
That's suspicious.
Wow.
That's suspicious.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
That is wild, Crystal.
So,
that's wild.
Yeah.
That is wild. You were what 2 degrees separated? 1 degree, 2 degrees separated, something like that?
We were playing in a poker tournament when he got arrested, right next to where he got arrested. He got arrested at like a Taco Bell, I think. And we were like right next door to it.
That's right. It was just so like normal and just so nondescript, right? It was just so average. And just everything about that guy was just always below average. Everything about that guy was below average. He is
so below average.
Average.
He is just he is ugly. He is just homely looking. He used to go on, he liked to be on the local news. By the way, if you've ever lived in Wichita, everybody can get on the local news. You fucking, you know what? Get a
They got nothing to talk about up there, yeah.
They got nothing to talk. When I first moved there, the first week of living there, they were like, there was an accident on K15 today. And I was like, did they just report an automobile accident on the news? And it was no deaths. It was just a fucking accident, okay? And they were like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, if you did that in California, that's all the news would be about. What are you talking about? Who has time for this?
Exactly.
At one time there was a tornado, and this is the line that I swear to God the reporter said. I will never forget it. He's at the hospital after the tornado has hit, and he wants to like come and see what kind of people are being, registered at the hospital, what kind of injuries and stuff they have, right? We're at the hospital, Mark. Have you seen any pattern to the injuries? When do tornadoes have patterns? What are you talking? Yes, the tornadoes seem to hit everybody in the right kneecap. It's very weird.
It's very strange. Back to you.
The reporting was just so like podunk or something. I was like, where did I move
just
to?
Just desperate for any little piece of information. Like, shit, we got an hour to fill? Man.
Yeah. He was an award-winning journalist, I'll have you know.
Wow, that's funny. That is funny. Yeah.
So
exactly.
you were considering being a priest.
Yeah, for a pretty short time, but then I read the Bible, and actually I had gotten a late admission to a college. It was Loyola Marymount, actually, late admission to Loyola Marymount, to go attend there because it has a pretty well known seminary there. And but the thing is LMU is really, really expensive, and I didn't get a scholarship, so I couldn't afford to go there. So ended up going to a local school instead, and but that was right around the time that I had just finished reading the Bible, and so I did go into school thinking that I was still going to be, going to the priesthood. I was going to do my undergrad and all that stuff. I took philosophy classes and all that stuff, and but the doubts just kind of stuck with me. And
do you remember what one of your first questions was as you were reading the Bible that made you go, "That seems kind of weird"? I wonder what that's about.
Why do we call God so loving, yet God does all these horrible things?
Yeah.
Like, how does a loving God do all this stuff? That was the big question I had. And
I remember
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, in the Catholic religion, there's a lot of mental gymnastics. Like, for example, and I'm talking mainstream Catholicism. I think we get a lot of conservative Catholics on TikTok, but the mainstream Catholicism, they think of like the floods, the Genesis, as like a metaphor. It's more metaphorical or allegorical. They don't take it literally, anything like that. Like they believe in evolution and all that stuff. And so that was a lot of what the messages I was getting, like the answers I was getting. It's really more metaphorical. It was, it's based on, it's cultural, based on, just remember this was written, 4,000 or 5,000 years ago, in the Bronze Age, and this reflects the times, and so but what really stuck with me, Crystal, is that, okay, well, if this is supposed to be the Word of God, like, what are we supposed to pick out that's true and what's not? That was the thing that was really sticking with me. It's really, and I can see why it's so hard for people to pick that out. And it's interesting because Catholics do have like this, they have this, like they look at like Protestants or, non-Catholics, and they just are just like, silly Protestants. Like, you don't literally believe in Genesis. Come on. Oh, so silly. They do stuff like that. They're just kind of pompous like that, and it's funny but then turn around and say, but when the priest prays over the bread and the wine, it really becomes the body and blood of Christ. So they have that. So it's like this weird thing. Yeah, it's really weird. And so, but that was a lot of what I was getting. It was just like, why would a God do this? Like, this just doesn't make sense. So it was a lot of
really
different
weird
things about that.
How much we use our imaginations in religion, because obviously it's still fucking grape juice and a biscuit or whatever. Like, what are you fucking talking about? I just tasted it. Nothing changed.
Yeah.
It didn't
Nothing,
suddenly taste like
changed.
blood. Suddenly nothing became flesh. Like, it literally is still the same piece of bread you handed me. What are you talking about? And we go, oh no, but it really is the blood now, or whatever. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's the emperor with no clothes. That's all this whole story is. And people go, no, but it's real. It's really real. You really have to know it's real. As a Methodist, I grew up very jealous of Catholics because of all the rituals. Because I always tell people, Methodists are literally the most boring Christian denomination there is. We are literally a white woman's chicken without seasoning. That's what Methodists are, okay?
I don't know. I mean, Southern Methodists can get down. I wouldn't.
I never met a Southern Methodist, though. And see, our Southern Methodists, like, like black churches because, come on, black churches have way more everything than any white church has. And you know that. The
That's
music
true.
better, the food
That's
is
true.
better, the preaching
true.
is better. You know what I'm saying? That's true.
Yeah, the only problem is you gotta be there all day. That's the only problem. You're
That's
there like your Sunday. You're just there for
That's true.
Sunday, not Sunday
You
at
just
10.
live there.
It's just Sunday. Exactly.
That's true.
Exactly.
We always went to both services, or pretty much every week we went to both services. And my father was like one of the board of elders or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember what Methodists call their shit anymore because it's been so long. And my mom was on Sarah's Circle and the outreach and all the other shit. So every Sunday when church was over, all of us kids would be super fucking excited because we were going to go home. We couldn't wait, you know. And we couldn't find mom and dad ever. Finally, we would find mom, but she was busy with outreach or Sarah Circle or whatever. And we would be like, can we go? And she would be like, well, find your dad. And we couldn't find him because my father was always on the roof of the church because he was always up there looking for leaks. I swear I found my father on that church roof more than anywhere else. He was always
That's
up
random. That's random.
Because he was in charge of all the repairs, and he would be like,
Oh,
we
got
gotta
it.
fix this.
And he's just, dang, he's just always up there on leave.
Always up there
funny.
making sure the roof wasn't leaking on the church.
That's funny.
So if
That's
you
funny.
go to United Methodist Church in Anaheim, California, and your roof doesn't leak, you can thank my father and me for that because I suffered a lot of Sundays after church while he checked that roof.
Oh my God. So Beth
But,
Ray had a
yeah.
question. Yeah, that's funny.
Oh,
Beth
okay.
Ray had a question. Anyone else have a crisis as a kid when you found out about different denominations, like what's right? Kinda, I did, although my mom explained it away as they don't have the true beliefs. So that's, you know, because, you know, Catholics are a bit uppity, can be a bit uppity.
Yeah.
And so they're like, no, they're not the true believers. So, you know, just pray for them and all that. And she even let me go to church. Like our neighbors invited me to church one time and they weren't Catholic. I think they were like, I want to say Baptist or maybe Lutheran or something like that. And I remember she let us go to church with them, me and my sister. And the only thing I remember from that was they had, I don't know, I was like 6 years old, and I don't know why I still remember this, but we were like the only kids of color in this all white church, and everybody was like, oh, you know, they were like giving us, and this was the 70s, which was kind of interesting, you know, because and they were giving us like extra special attention, like, oh, you know, it's so nice that you're here, and this and that, and then the only thing I remember was that they were giving out candy to the kids who knew the question of Mount Ararat. It was something about Mount Ararat, and I can't remember the question. I knew that was the answer, and the only reason I knew the answer is because everybody whispered it to each other, like, oh, it's Mount Ararat, and he had to say it to somebody, and he got a piece of candy. That's like the only thing I remember. But yeah, when we got home though, I remember my mom making us do some Hail Marys to make sure that we were saved. Yeah. So we had to pray the Hail Mary when we got home.
I don't know what is. Like,
Yeah.
Hail Mary so nothing bad happens to you.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is my best friend was Catholic and I was Methodist. So I grew up always going to her church. I went to her church for many functions. First of all, there was nothing like a candlelight Christmas Eve service at the Catholic Church. And
That's true,
at this particular Catholic church, John Stamos went to the Catholic Church there, and so we used to see him all the time. He would bring some of the Beach Boys, and they would play at the little carnivals that the church would put on every year and stuff like that. So yeah, so we used to watch them. Hey, Resurrected, how are you? Anyway, her mom did not like me because I was Methodist.
You were Methodist,
She
of course.
was
Yeah.
Catholic.
That's them damn uppity Catholics, I'm telling you. Yeah.
And it's so funny because we think the opposite, like we think the same thing about Catholics. We actually think y'all are a bunch of idol worshippers and you're all going to hell and you just think you aren't. So that's funny, you know. But so I'm like 11 or 12, I don't know how old I am. I'm pretty young. And my best friend is going through catechism. And they're doing like their last catechism or whatever. And then, her first Holy Communion. That's right. She's going through her first Holy Communion. And she's doing her last class. And then she gets to put on her little wedding dress and be weird. It's what it looks like. And you know that it's
always a white dress. Yeah, it's a white dress.
Right?
Yeah.
So, so she is doing her last class and I get to sit in. And every time the teacher asks a question, none of the kids knew the answers, but I did. I fucking was answering them because I was a kid and you're a show off, you know, when you're a kid, right?
True.
Finally, the first communion, like teacher or whatever, he was like, "Oh my gosh, you're just so smart. You know so much about the Bible. How do you know so much about the Bible?" And I said, "Oh, because like I study it." Because I did. I was a little weirdo. Okay. So I would memorize Bible verses, and I had my little verse of the day bread box, and I was a weirdo. And he said, "You should become Catholic. Oh my God, you should become Catholic." And I said, "Oh no." I'm like so condescending. I'm a kid.
No.
This is a grown ass man, and I'm like, "No, I would never do that."
No.
And he was like, "Why? Why would you never do that?" And I said, "Well, I don't want to argue with somebody and debate." I said the same shit Christians say to us. I swear to God, to a grown man, and I was a kid. I'm like, I don't want to debate.
That's hilarious.
You. I want to allow you to have your belief. I respect your belief, you know.
I respect your belief. Yeah.
And he was like, "No, please tell me one thing." And I said, "Well, the Bible says you shouldn't pray to or for the dead because they cannot hear you and they cannot help you." And he was like, "We don't pray to the dead." I go, "Yes, you do. You pray to Mary and you pray to the saints." He goes, "No, we venerate them." I'm like, "Well, to us, that's praying, and I can't do that. I'm sorry." Walked away. And then about an hour later, we were running around the church. You know how you do as kids? You go through all the, you know.
Yeah.
We were just running around being silly. And we ran into a room, and there was my friend's mom, that teacher, and Father Keller. And I was like, "Oh shit, we ran into the wrong room." And he goes, "There she is." And they were like, "What?" And he was pointing to me, and I thought, "Oh shit, now I'm in double trouble," like, right? And he goes, "There she is." And my friend's mom turned around and goes, "Her?" And I'm like, "What are they talking about?" He was telling them what a prodigy I was, and my friend's mom was like, "No, not her, not her."
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, she did not really want Anne to hang out with me. "Hi, Mrs. Kremenek." Now I'm an atheist.
That's funny. But yeah, there was some times where like there was questions about like because I was a military kid, and so the church was like a multi-use church, so it would have different denominations in there. And so there was like the Catholic service, there was the Episcopal service, the Baptist service, and so we'd run into people. You know, we cross paths from time to time. It's like, you know, one service was letting out, another one was coming in, something like that, right? And so and then like they'd have like interfaith like barbecues and stuff, and so there were times where you'd have like discussions or maybe sometimes even arguments about like the denominations, and so it could be confusing sometimes. It could. So just it was a long answer to your question, Beth Ray. Yeah, there was some stuff about that, you know, when I was growing up, just because I had crossed paths with kids like that. And I remember like when I was in high school, because I went to a prep school, a college prep school, and it wasn't just all Catholics. There was a lot of different denominations there, but there were some Jewish kids that went there, and that was something because, you know, because you're thinking, you know, in the Catholic faith, there's also like this little low key animosity towards Jews, like it's a bit of anti-Semitism. It just is very much under the radar, but it's there. And so we're seeing like, and there's like a handful of Jewish kids in my class, and I just remember thinking like, that's like, why are they here and all this other stuff. And I looking back on that, it sucked because just because I remember some of these kids, like they didn't get like, they got, they weren't treated the best, but it was really microaggressions, but you just knew, and there were jokes and stuff like that. Yeah. But there was some tension about that. Yeah, there was.
It was funny being brought up a Christian. I was taught, and I don't know if this is a Methodist teaching or because I would say that the youth group leaders that they hired were far more evangelical than the Methodist churches as a whole. So often I was taught very much more evangelical, progressive things that not necessarily that the Methodist church would teach. It was just the people who were the youth group leaders at the time were like that. And I was taught that the reason Jesus was beaten and crucified was because of my sins, was because of our sins, because when we sin, basically he took a lash. When like that nail is because of my sins, because of what I did, what I'm doing, what we're doing, and all of that was because of that. And then I remember growing up and hearing about the Holocaust and this hatred towards Jewish people, and I was really confused. And I went to my mom. I'm like, I don't understand where this hatred stemmed from in the first place. And she said, "Oh, because they believe that the Jewish people crucified Jesus." And I was like, "What?" But that's not why he died. Like, even if they were the ones who like put that nail in, he did it because of what we did. I don't understand. Like, how come they're not taking the blame themselves? Every time they sin, they should be taking the blame, Yeah. And obviously, I don't know. I guess already at that young of an age, I was like, anti-Semitism is bullshit, Mom. Anyway.
Yeah.
Hey,
I hear that.
On YouTube, I love you. My favorite mod ever. I didn't say hi to her chat over there, so I want to make sure she does. She said I'll never get a hey. So you deconstruct. Okay, so one thing I wanted to ask you, though. You're a family man. You're married. You're a family man, right?
Yeah. I got kids.
When you became a priest, when you were thinking of becoming a priest, did any of that, like, was there any, like, well, I kind of want to be a family man, maybe I don't want to be a priest? Or were you just so into it that you didn't even think about that?
Yeah, at the time, I wasn't really thinking about kids or anything like that. It just wasn't on the radar. And I didn't, but the other thing is I didn't really think about relationships either. I got the calling and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And it didn't really occur to me that, okay, there's no more relationships. It didn't really sink in, but kids weren't really that, I didn't even think about having kids until I was, in my 30, like past 30. So that wasn't even on the radar at the time. And so if anything, it would have been more the relationships things, but that didn't really register. I didn't really think that far ahead. So that would have sucked.
Can I ask you the question that every single person wants to ask a man who turned down the caller?
Sure.
Can I ask you?
Yeah.
After you had sex for the first time, were you like, God damn, I'm glad I didn't become a priest?
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh yeah. For
You're
sure.
like, fuck, they don't know what they're missing.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, Crystal, I think it was more of a it was more of a, okay, well, it's like the last night before you report to prison the next day.
Yeah.
You go out with a party basically. I think it was
Yeah,
kind
for
of more
sure.
along the, might have been more along the lines of that. But yeah, that was like one thing that I was like, oh, glad I dodged that bullet, because
Right.
hey, and I'm so grateful. I've got my 2 kids now and all that stuff. I wouldn't pass that up for anything. So
So my best friend Ann's aunt, her name was Anne. That's who she was named for. Was a nun. She was actually, what is it when you become like a mother superior or something eventually, I think is what she became. Is that when you become like you move up?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so
Wow,
I think
she's
she
pretty high up
eventually
there.
became a mother superior. But when I was growing up, she was a nun. She was Sister Anne. And I wanted to be a nun. After meeting her, I wanted to be a nun, a little Methodist girl.
Little Methodist girl wanted to be a nun. Like, how's that going to work?
I would have married. Yeah, it wasn't gonna work. It wasn't gonna work. And also, I love being a mom and a grandma. I'm really glad I didn't choose that vocation for myself.
Yeah. You bring up a good point though, because I think it was more the because I had some pretty good mentors in high school, and like mentor priests, and they were pretty down to earth. Like the priests I knew growing up when I was much younger, they were a lot more stern and authoritative, but these guys were a lot more relatable and contemporary and all that stuff. And so like there was one who really kind of helped me, like when my father died. He was very supportive and talked to me a lot. I could go into his office anytime and just talk to him, and so I'd just go in there and hang out, and he was like, yeah, anytime you want to come in, just come in. And so I did that a lot, and I think that's what really drew me in, was like, oh, okay, well, it, and there were other ones like you when you're in the middle, like before you take your final vows, you can, and you would just be like, if you're studying, you could still wear the collar, but you wouldn't be called like father, you would just be called Mr. Whatever. And but you're still going through the process of becoming a priest. And there were some that I had developed relationships with, and they were really cool. And so just having that that experience, I think that kind of drove me to think, oh, well, maybe this is something I could do, as a vocation, because I saw these people that way. And so just kind of similar to what you're saying, like you saw Sister Anne, and you're like, oh, I want to do that. And I think that's kind of what did it for me too. Yeah. Just wanted to emulate that, but not really understanding. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I admired that she devoted her, like, I think that even at a young age, I admired people who stood up for what they believed in any way. Like, even if I didn't agree with what they said, it mattered to me that they stood by their convictions. Because I found that there were a lot of people in my life that I didn't agree with, but they didn't even stand up for what they said they believed in. And I was like, well, your point is moot. Like, you have no argument here if you're not willing to stand up for it, right? And so I really admired that her conviction was with her God, and she devoted her entire life 100% to that. And so that's what Crystal decided to do, and made her whole personality about Jesus. And I still cringe about that. When I think of, I used to fucking collect churches, like little church buildings. Okay, like what? Really? I don't even like knickknacks now. Like, I hate knickknacks. What? Why do I want stuff to dust? Nobody needs that. I don't know.
That's funny.
Now I do collect Bibles now, though, because I like the different translations and stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah?
I think that's kind of cool. Yeah, so I have a Catholic Bible, an Ethiopian Bible, the NRSV, a King James, a couple of New American Standards, and I don't know, like my neighbor was just the sweetest lady ever. When I moved in here, she was just so sweet. Recently, they moved away. She got dementia, and I really don't know how that all turned out. I don't want to ask because I want to pretend in my mind that she's okay somewhere safe in San Diego with her son. So I'm not really asking who I know has the answer because I'd rather live in denial. But they had an estate sale after she moved out, and her Bible was there from like the 1950s or something. And so, yes, I bought that Bible, and now I have my favorite neighbor's Bible forever because I liked it.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I think it's kind of cool having different translations really handy, you know? It's kind of cool for my studies.
You know, I want to get my hands on one of the old slave Bibles because they sell them on eBay from time to time. That's one I want to really get my hands on because I'm just really curious, like how redacted that version is, like how edited it is. Yeah, I really want to see.
See, those are things I didn't learn about till I met this community. You know, like I didn't know who Nat Turner was. I didn't know about slave rebellions. I didn't know about the slave Bible. I didn't know about any of that, and you know, and obviously that I should take some ownership of that. Like, I didn't educate myself. But however, growing up in the United States in the public school system, I thought I had been educated. I did not realize that they purposely were not educating me on that, you know? And when I did realize, I was like, oh, we have to redo all of school now. In your 50s, you're going to have to... So I actually take some free classes on the Khan Academy to help me out with the lack of education the United States handed me. So now you're a streamer, you've deconstructed, and you've decided you want to stream. What made you decide to do that? When did you start doing it? And tell us a little bit about that adventure.
Okay. This will be a bit of a long story, but I'll try to keep it as brief as possible. So
don't worry.
During COVID.
Before you do, you guys tap that screen. I'm really thirsty. I need 5,000 more likes. What do we do? Okay,
that's right. She's looking thirsty. Yeah, she's looking thirsty. Yeah, we gotta tap the screen. We gotta get some water in this lady. We don't want her passing out from dehydration right in front of us. Yeah, she's getting parched. Okay, it was during COVID, and in COVID, of course, you're sitting around, you're watching videos, and you're going down rabbit holes. And the rabbit hole I went down was street epistemology. The street epistemology rabbit hole.
Just learning about that. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, and so I was watching Anthony Magnabosco's videos and just became instantly hooked. And I was thinking, this is probably a good way to like start these conversations. And so I had kind of a desire like to do these. And see, the thing is they do these back then. They were doing them face to face, and they were saying, really, you want to do them face to face because you want to build rapport, blah blah blah. And I didn't want to do that because I'm not a face to face person. And it was COVID, so I was thinking, nah, that's not a good idea. So I shelved it for a while, but then COVID was lifted, but that idea still stuck with me, and I just was thinking to myself, I wonder if I could just try it. I could just try it and just see if street epistemology will work online, and so that's when I decided to jump on TikTok, and I did that in end of June of 2024. First I went into other people's lives, and I would just say, hey, I would go into like a Christian's live. Like one of them, you guys, some of you might know him. It's an Orthodox guy, CrystalJae, I think that's his name. And I went into his live, probably like the worst one I could pick, but I just said, hey, I come in peace. I'm just, I don't believe in God, but I just have some questions. And I was just testing out the process of street epistemology, which he was all too happy to talk about his belief, like all day. And I was in there for like an hour and a half, and I just sat and listened. I'd ask a question, he'd go on for like 20 minutes, and then I'd ask another question, and he went on for 20 minutes. But I was like, okay, I think this could work. And but I learned a lot from that experience. And so I decided, you know what, maybe I can do this on my own. And so then that's when I tried a live, and it was the end of June. I threw up my own live. And let's see, I think it was Forever Atheist. I think he's in here still. Is he in here still?
Mhm.
It was like
I
Forever
saw him
Atheist
earlier.
and maybe, yeah, he was in here earlier, but it was like Forever Atheist and then like maybe one or two other people. There was like 3 or 4 people in my life, and I'm sitting here just asking questions, and it's just these believers that are just coming in and they're just talking the whole time, like, and I just sit there and listen, and I would just ask, what's your how did you figure out this is true? And then they go through like their entire life story. So different from everybody else. And I was like, man, I don't know if I can keep this up, like listening to all this shit, like every person. But I did it for a while, and then my wife, she got diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer, and then we had to take some time off. That was like in November, and then I took the time off while she was like helping her through her treatment and all that.
Yeah.
But then I decided when I came back in May of this year, I said, I think I'm going to mix it up a little bit. It's going to be more of a discussion / debate, but with like street epistemology behind it. And so I just kind of mixed it up a little bit. And so now since May, I've just been, going pretty strong, and it's been great. I've met you, Deconstruction Junction community, all these people. And so it's been a fun ride. It's been a blast. I'm loving it.
And how is your wife doing?
Oh, she's doing great. She's been in remission since May.
That's awesome. That's
this year.
awesome.
So the last about 4 months. Yeah. And so
Awesome.
So, she's doing she has to go in periodically and get checked and all that stuff. But, yeah, she's doing great. So I'm just really happy for her and just glad.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's another thing a lot of people don't know is that once you're diagnosed with cancer, every doctor visit after that, they're checking for cancer, whether you want
for the rest of your life. Yeah.
They fucking are. Okay, they are. Like
for the rest of your life. Yeah.
Every single visit I go into, they go. Even doctors that I've seen in the past do this. They go, "You have malignant melanoma." Oh. Okay, and I'm like, dude, I'm here because my wrist hurts, though. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like I stubbed my toe last week.
Not here for that today.
Not here for that.
But yeah, I did have that. That's for sure. Trust lives are amazing. The conversations are meaningful.
Thank you.
And it's because of people like you, like Daniel Green, Schmezzo, and the guy who won't be named. I'm not going to call him by his name anymore.
Oh, funny.
Anyway,
you got to cease and desist in the mail, so you can't even say his name.
I'm not even going to fucking ever tell people to go watch him anymore. Don't, no. I used to plug him so much. He's so lucky he has me as a friend. But no, not anymore.
You're hilarious. It's funny.
I would listen to you guys, and I know people like when my other personality comes out, Dark Crystal. I know they like it. I know they think that yes, she's giving it to them. But I fucking don't want to be her anymore. I don't mean to be her. Like, I can't take bigotry. I can't take racism. I can't take misogyny. And they all have that, right? But I want to not get so angry when they are being that way. I want to ask questions instead and listen and try to fucking maybe have some questions that make them think a little deeper instead of coming back angry. So I don't have it up during Decon Q&A, but I have a sign that I put up that tells me to calm down. But I am trying to listen to more street epistemology so I can hear how they respond when people say the things that trigger me into being angry.
I hear that. I still think that that having a little bit of that piss and vinegar that they need to hear I think that's important too, because I think all sides need to be seen of this, because they have to kind of see like why people are kind of upset by this, and then and then folks like me who aren't so much like that, they kind of get that side of it too, just because
Yeah.
if they see multiple sides of this, that may get them to kind of think, it isn't like you're not just angry just to be angry. Like you're angry for a reason. And then if they come to somebody like me, yeah, absolutely, and you know what, you should be.
I'm angry for a very big reason. Like, I really, really believe that this book is a book about supremacy, and I am so fucking tired of marginalized people. Of all fucking marginalized people following this fucking God who does the marginalizing. And I'm tired of people using it to marginalize you're marginalized and you're fucking marginalizing somebody else based on this book. What is wrong with you?
Exactly.
I get so angry about it because you and I, like, how old, I'm sorry, do you mind me asking? I'm 59.
No, I'm 54. So you and I are same gen, same generation.
So, like, we thought a lot of this shit was like we were gonna be past it. We were, right? And I'm angry.
Yeah. Like, why are we still dealing with this shit? And you know what? There is a big part of me that's frustrated with that too. I think that, and you know what, you'll see me in my lives every once, like if somebody just crosses a line that's too far, I will be like, that's terrible, that's awful. I will say stuff like that, because I think it, because I can't totally just shut it off and just be completely like, just stone faced and be a complete sounding board. Like, there's just some things you hear, like when it's about like unaliving babies, or, when it's about grape, and they're just so nonchalant about it. It's just like, you got to be kidding me. And I'll tell you, Crystal, the especially the ones are the ones our age, the baby-faced Christians, and then like the ones our age who are like women who are like mothers and grandmothers, and they're talking about like, oh yeah, the ones who got their pregnant bellies ripped open, those were whores and they deserved it. That's like, how can you say that about?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. Like, how can you say that? And that to me is just like, that's awful. I have to say something about that.
Right.
When I hear fathers, when I'm talking to fellow fathers that are, and I bring up Exodus 21:7 about selling your daughter into slavery, and they're just so nonchalant about it, like it's not a big deal. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, brother, you would seriously sell your daughter into slavery? Well, no, I wouldn't do that. Well, how can you sit there and read this and to just not feel anything for it? Like, how can you just excuse it away? Like, that's just unacceptable. And I know from a like, I don't believe this. This is real, but you believe this. That's the problem. You believe this. You believe it. You think it's real, and then you just wave it away like it's no big deal. That's even that gets to me sometimes. So I totally get it. Yeah. And yet
I'm gonna get there. I'm not there yet.
You know what? It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. You know what? I'd say the style is the style, and none of it's wrong. I would say though that, because it's hard, especially when it's emotionally charged like this, it's really hard to not go after them. However, I will say that it has led to some situations where they just get super honest, and then you just hold the mirror up and you get to that point of cognitive dissonance when they're just like, when they're, that moment when when they just kind of freeze and they don't really have and it's just going through their head, but then the old programming kicks in, and then, oh, well, we have free will. You're like, shit, I almost had him, But I do it for the people that are listening as well.
Terminating cliche they can come up with so they can stop thinking about, because it hurts them, and I know it does. Like,
it does.
It would hurt me.
It does.
It hurt me deeply to understand that this thing that I devoted my entire life to, before even taking on the fact that it is not real, I had to come
Yeah.
to terms with the way it was written. I was supporting something that was just evil. It's just fucking
Yeah.
evil. And
Yeah.
to come
Yeah.
to terms with the fact that it was my God, the God
Yeah.
I worship, that fucking condoned slavery and then helped create the entire Atlantic slave trade. What? That's not what I was taught. I was taught,
Yeah.
Christians freed the slaves. We didn't want slavery, but that's not true.
Yeah.
And that hurt to hear. It hurt
That-
to
yeah.
know. And you know, there's things that hurt me in the Bible, and I think that what happens is sometimes when a Christian comes up and they ask me, you know, like what it is that makes me not believe, and I tell them something and they mock me for it, then like that
Yeah,
fucking
that-
triggers me, right?
I
and
gotta
so
be
there's
honest.
one I mentioned.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead and finish.
No, there's one I mentioned that like they all mock me for this, but if you've ever been a child who was not the favorite child, who was the black sheep of the family, who was clearly not loved like other children were in the family, like literally you can tell if you're one of those children and you have a God that's doing that to you too, like that's devastating. And this God,
It is.
the thing that I bring up that they mock me for, decided that only 5% of all the characters in the Bible would be named for women. Only 5%.
Exactly.
And they think that that
Exactly.
is nothing I should be heard about. How can I not be hurt? You left my name out of the fucking book.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
not in
And-
there. And
Yeah.
when I am in there, I am a whore, a virgin, or a mother. That's what I am.
Yeah. Exactly. You've been one-dimensionalized, and you know, like you've been turned into like the two-dimensional or one-dimensional like character, and
Yeah.
you're and like secondary or tertiary, and
Yeah.
and so that role model, yeah, I can totally get that. And what I was gonna say is that I noticed I've sat in on at least one of your lives as a guest panel, and I noticed that it is the way that people come at you is so different than the way they come at me. And I've watched other women's lives, like Born Again Atheists, for example. I've seen hers. I've just watched hers. Yeah, she's great. I've watched hers. I've watched other women, like agnostics and atheists, and they're treated so differently. It's condescending. It really, and see, and now I understand why you're fucking pissed off, and that's why I'm like, be pissed off. Because they need to see this, because they are used to what they are used to is women not acting that way towards them. They're used to that, and so they need to see a woman being like, you know what, motherfucker, you cannot treat me this way. You know, they need to see that. They need to feel that. So I totally support that, because like, you know, bored agnostic, all the, like, even the black women who are on here doing their lives, they even get it worse than,
I know,
you know,
they do.
and
I know.
yeah, and it's like the more like minority groups you belong to, it seems like the worse you get it from some of these people. And so it is, and I just love that you have the knowledge and like the, you know, and have the advantage because it's your live. You do this every day. They don't, and I know they get pissed off about that because you're running them in circles. So be proud of that. Absolutely.
Well, thank you. And I'm working on it, and I think that I will. I think that, you know, I've talked about this before. I think you go through stages in your deconstruction, and I still have some of the anger, okay? But I do think
Absolutely.
that from now on, when a Christian asks me this question, and any of you can have this, is another one you could steal from me, okay? I think that from now on, when they ask that question that they love to ask, who hurt you? I'm going to tell them exactly who fucking hurt me. It was you.
Absolutely.
You fucking hurt me.
Absolutely.
You are hurting me
Absolutely.
now You are doing it consciously. You are doing it purposefully. And it is you who has hurt me. And I'm going to just tell them it's you.
Absolutely. They should hear that.
Because that's just the honest truth.
Yeah, that's the honest truth. And whatever they choose to do with that is what they choose to do with it, but they should hear it. And, you know, and the other thing I think about when I do my lives is, like I said earlier, I'm doing this for the folks in the chat who are watching this, like, and not so much to be more of a role model, but just to see like, okay, well, maybe I can take away some of these things that Trust is doing. Like when I talk to my parents at Thanksgiving, or like my siblings or my aunt or my uncle or something like that, because especially now, you know, the holidays are coming up and you're going to start having these really tough conversations. And that's what I want to emulate, is how you can have these tough conversations without, you know, it just being a big old powder keg and exploding, you know, so that when somebody says something out of pocket, you have a way to ask them about it without, you know, and then you just get them to justify what they have to say, you know, and just get them to that point where, well, it just is, okay, or I can't really explain it. It's about faith. And then, you know, okay, you know, maybe send them the message, well, maybe you need better reasons to believe this than just it's faith, or, you know, I grew up in it, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Benny boy, and hey, Jedediah. I don't know if that's how you're saying that now, but hey, how are you guys doing today? Listen, it is about that time, you guys. It is time for everybody's favorite game, Divine or Decline.
Divine or
GT,
Decline.
are you going to come up and play? Yes. Have you played the game yet? I'm inviting friends up because they need to come up and play. This is a game that I created, and everybody loves it so much. You can see them lining up to join us. There's nobody joining us. I'm trying to get people to come up. Anybody here going to come up and join us for Divine or Decline? Come on, Stella.
Divine or Decline.
Stella, come up and join us. JT, come join us. Where did Benny go? Love to, but I'm about to be on a work call. Okay, there's Benny. Benny's here. Oh, you're doing chores? Take a break from your chores and come lose a game of Divine or Decline. Resurrected Skeptic, come play Divine or Decline with
Benny.
us.
Hey. I'm in the mountains right now.
Oh,
You know
cool.
what? We were supposed to come and meet Betty and Seth twice now. Once in Vegas and once at that cabin, and we didn't make it. Dang it! How long are you gonna be there? Maybe we'll just take off Friday and come up and.
For the main week of this week, I don't know if we're leaving on Thursday or Friday. We might.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we're here for the week basically.
Well, we're gonna have to make plans where we actually do get together, Benny, because
Hey, I just paid another 6 months of lot rent. We got the place for another 6 months. I own the actual cabin, but we pay for the lot rent.
Right.
And yeah, you would love. Honestly, you would love the neighbors here. You would this is one of those what you want.
Yes.
When you retire, kind of places.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to owning a little campground or something in retirement. So
you should come here, and you should rub elbows with these people, because that's how you get in on another spot or something, and they go for really cheap. Because these are all old trailer cabins that are from the 70s, but they're fine.
Ooh.
No, I dig them.
Cool.
I like little cabins.
Cool.
They're always quaint. Okay, you guys. Hey, Resurrected. Hey, Stella. Welcome to the panel. How are you guys today? I'm taking a drink even though we're not at 30,000. You guys are too slow on tapping.
Well, hey, I was just going to say hi. I'm eating dinner with the family right now, so.
Oh, all right. Well, say hi to the fam first. Okay, you guys, Trust hasn't played the game, so I'm going to tell him the rules real quick, and then we will play everybody's favorite game, Divine or Decline. Here's the rules. I'm going to read to you a phrase. Maybe, if I can find them. Hang on one second. I might not be doing this. Oh, man.
Uh-oh.
Hang on 1 second.
Uh-oh.
Oh, lost a cue card. Shit.
Honestly, I am just not good at this game. I'm gonna admit.
Well, hey, I
this.
was just gonna jump up and say hi real quick. I'm gonna
Okay.
finish eating dinner with the family.
All right, good to
Hey,
see
Resurrected.
you.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it
You
going,
guys make
Trey?
sure you're following Resurrected. He's amazing too.
Yeah, and I should be
Definitely.
going on around 6 p.m., y'all. So, all right,
Is that
see you guys.
Central or
Okay, you guys, let me tell. Hang on.
oh, are you sharing it out?
See,
No,
this
I'm
is a
trying to
this is
pull
a
it
good
up.
reason to not have a scripted show because
Yeah.
you know because
This
then
is
if it's
great.
scripted, then shit like this you're gonna be freaking out, right? Oh shit, it's not fucking
Right.
script. But see, when it's not scripted, it's no big deal. It's all good.
It's a script. You don't need a script.
Yeah, who needs a fucking script? Exactly.
What is that line like? I don't know. Is that song Unwritten? The one that's like, feel the rain on your skin.
No,
Oh,
no one else
that,
can
that song,
feel it
yeah.
for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can feel the rain on your. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. Okay, here we go. I will read to you a question. If it is from the Bible, you're going to say divine, okay? If it is from
Oh.
the Holy Quran, the Book of Mormon, or Crystal made it up, you're going to decline. Now, the Bible translation that I use, and I will have to repeat this, because I always do, is the American Standard Bible because it is copyright free. Okay? That being said, you're probably not used to it. I will not take a verse and just change one word and call it decline. I don't do that. Okay? If it sounds
are
like a
you
verse,
sure?
I
feel
don't
like-
do that.
I feel like you.
I do, however, take words from the Bible and make up verses based on the words that I know, like stiff-necked people. I will do that. Okay, anyway, here.
That's almost like
I
more
did-
sinister.
I know, because where else are you going to hear stiff-necked people? That's only biblical. All right. So, that's it. You just say divine or decline. I'll start with Ty here, and I'll come down to you, Trust, and you just tell me divine or decline. Play in the chat. Play over on YouTube. There's no winners here, only losers, because they all plagiarized from other writing. So, here we go.
Okay.
The
None of
sacrifice.
it.
Oh, go,
I was just gonna say
You
none
want
of it's
Benny?
actually divine. None of it's divine.
right.
None of it's divine.
Benny, were you here when I let a Christian up? Hi, Tahir. Were you here when I let a Christian up one week? And it was kind of weird because he was a Christian, but I think he was deconstructing or something. And one of the questions he thought was from the Bible. And I said, okay, so divine? And he goes, well, I don't want to say that. Now you're putting words in my mouth. And I'm like, no, that's the game. Like divine or decline, you know, or whatever.
It
And
goes
then
down
one-
to semantics. Always semantics.
and then I made up a verse, and he goes, "No, you have to prove that." And I'm like, "Wait, how do I prove that that's not in the Bible? That I fucking made it up? Like what?"
Dang.
It was so funny. It was the funniest episode of Divine or Decline yet. Okay, here we go. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. Oh God, thou wilt not despise. Tahir.
That sounds absolutely divine. And I just wanted to say I had a second. I didn't want to miss an opportunity to play my favorite ever game. So here I am.
Thank you. Tahir actually hates this game. She's doing this because she loves me.
Never that.
Okay, Stella, your turn.
I am going to say divine, but mostly because I don't know the Bible very well.
Now you make the perfect contestant. Benny.
Okay, was wilt? Can you say it one more time? Sorry.
Yes. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. O God, thou wilt not despise.
And you're using the American Standard Bible. I
It's
want to
from
say.
the early 1900s, by the way.
Oh, it is. Oh, all right.
Oh,
I'll say
wow.
divine. I'll say divine. Thank you for that. For that
Okay.
context.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, that little piece of yeah. Okay, I'll say divine too. Wow, that's tough.
Okay.
I'm only going off the word wilt.
And that was divine. Good call, Benny. That's Psalms 51:17. I used to tell you guys that I use a New American Standard because I don't know, like for some reason I would think those are the same Bible and one was just updated or something, but they're not. No. And so I use the American Standard, which is much older. It's like 1903 or some shit. I don't remember. And the New American Standard is newer. So I use the American Standard because that's copyright free. The New American is not.
Yeah,
yes.
New American.
Damn, that was a hard one.
Copyright the Bible.
The like thing about the New American is it's either like very literal, so it tries to like translate it just like word for word, just like what the literal meaning
which
would be.
butchers it.
or it's where it like kind of has more free, where it like takes in the context. I can't remember, and they deal more with the intention instead of the like literal translations. But the NASB does get praised by like scholars for one of those two reasons. I can't remember.
That's interesting.
Like fun fact.
I have them because my mom and dad had them, and they're the ones that I read out of sometimes where my mom writes funny notes. And like one time she was writing about, damn it, who's the guy who climbs up in the tree because he's so short? And wait, who was it? You know who I'm talking about. They have
Zacharias.
Is that who it is? Zacharias? Okay. Anyway, she wrote Danny DeVito in the Bible.
It sounds like something.
DeVito.
I just love that. Okay. And God said unto the mountains, be still, and lo, the rivers changed their course. Tahir.
I'm sorry, I missed. Was the last one divine or decline?
The last one was divine, Psalms 51:17.
Okay, so I'm gonna go decline just on that alone, switching it up.
Okay. Okay, Stella.
I'm gonna say divine because it sounds like Exodus.
Okay, Benny.
I agree. Also, I wanted to say, just to correct myself, the NASB is more literal. It is like they just take like the literal translation. So, yep.
It's the literal. Okay. Could you say it one more time, Crystal?
Yeah. And God said unto the mountains, be still, and lo, the rivers changed their course.
Ooh. I'll say divine.
Okay, what did Benny say? What did you say, Benny?
I said divine.
Okay, you guys are wrong. It's declined. That was made up by me.
Tahir. Tahir. What? Tahir. You are on it.
Go for it.
I should have realized mountains don't
Okay. Okay, you guys. Number 3. I'm throwing you some softballs on some of these because y'all complained too
What?
much,
These are
okay?
softballs? Jeez,
I know.
they're so hard.
This one is. This next one's a softball. It is, I promise you. But the meek shall inherit the land and delight themselves in abundance of peace. Tahir.
I feel like you're tricking me, but I'm gonna go divine.
Okay, Stella.
Decline.
Benny.
I'll go with divine. I don't know why, but I'll go with divine.
Okay, trust.
It sounds like divine to me.
You guys, I really thought that was an easy one because I thought everybody knew that the meek shall inherit the earth. The meek don't inherit land and delight themselves in abundance of peace.
God damn it.
We don't do
that. I thought your softball. I thought when you said softball that you were like just giving it to us.
Yeah.
You were just giving it to us, but no.
I thought it was a give me because everybody knew the meek shall inherit the earth. That's what I thought. I'm sorry.
Well,
Okay, so that was
unfortunately, I
decline.
did know that, so that's a little.
Yeah, that was what gave me
Oh
pause.
wait, I'm wrong. I read the wrong answer. You guys, it was divine. I was wrong. That's divine. That's Psalms 37:11. It is divine. I was reading. So I was reading another answer. The one here was. Yeah, I was reading the wrong answer. It was divine. I'm so sorry. You guys got that right. I give you your props.
That's okay.
Good job. Okay. And he spake, saying, if ye follow my commandments, ye shall find favor even in the hearts of those who do not believe. Tahir.
It sounds divine, so it's probably decline, but I'm going to say divine anyway.
Okay, Stella.
I'm going to go with decline.
Okay, Benny.
I'm gonna go with decline because I don't remember there being words about like, oh, he's still okay with even if you don't believe. So I'm not sure.
Okay, trust.
All right, I'm gonna totally overthink this because it sounds divine, but I should say decline. But then if I say divine, it still might be decline. So I guess I'll say divine.
It was decline because that's the one I accidentally read the answer to the last time.
God damn it! I overthought it. See, I overthought it. Yeah.
That was kind of made up from the Book of Mormon. Like I just stole kind of stuff from the Book of Mormon.
You need to like add in like your like thoughts on some of these that you keep, like wherever you keep all of this down, and like what went through your head when you made up, like when you made it up, because I love that.
Yeah, actually, I do like that. I like how you come up with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them I come up with after Bible study, like when we do our Bible study on Wednesday, because I'll be fresh in my head and I'll be like, that's why I came up with the stiff-necked people one that got everybody mad at me. They were like, but stiff-necked people are in the Bible. I'm like, I know. That's why I said it. I knew you'd fall for it. Okay. Verily God orders the heavens and the earth, and no atom moves without his command. Tahir.
Ain't no way they said Adam in that Bible. Like ATOM?
ATOM.
That's gotta be decline.
All right. Decline, Stella.
I'm going for decline for the same reason.
All right, Benny.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if atoms, maybe they might have been like a Greek concept, but not like how we know them as now. But yeah, decline.
Okay, trust.
Yeah, that's decline.
That is decline. That was in the style of the Quran.
I was gonna say that sounds like the Quran. I think the Quran does speak about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of stole that from them. Okay, number 6. For the Lord is righteous. He loves righteous deeds. The upright shall behold his face. Tahir.
It sounds like a decline, so it's probably divine, but I'm gonna say decline.
Yeah, you got to go against your like gut. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Stella.
Oh boy. I'm gonna go with divine, just based on the idea that faith without works is dead.
Okay, Benny.
Hold on. Noah Squatch said, I feel like I know this verse on one of your declines, and that is like this whole game is. I feel like legit. I have no idea.
Yeah, it sounds so fucking familiar. Exactly.
It's true.
So I'm gonna say divine on this one, just because the righteousness and all of that. Yeah.
All right, Trust.
Oh God, what a mind fuck. This is great. I'm gonna say decline.
Okay, that is divine. That is Psalms 11:7. I had to tell you the
Nice.
funniest little story. I'm gonna try to say this as TikTok friendly as I can. Okay, so the other day, I don't even know if I should say who it was. I'll just say somebody very close to me. Not Doug, though. Don't try to do that. Okay. Somebody very close to me, though. Familia. Okay. Went to a music festival and took a little something on paper that you take at music festivals on paper. And they were sitting there texting us the entire time about how they did that to take a trip to like to get the answers from God, literally, and he brought them to a Hosier concert. He was like going on and on about how horrible Hosier is, and what if all of this ends up just being Hosier? Can you imagine that the secrets of the universe are Hosier? And he's going on and then he goes, he literally said, divine or decline? Probably both. And I was like, that is the best use of my game ever.
I mean, as Hoser said, he eat a church, so.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I thought that was so funny. Okay, and God said, remember the days of your fathers and keep their memories, for in them is wisdom. Tahir.
I don't know. I've been overthinking it the whole time, but I don't know. That feels a little decliney, so I'll say decline.
Okay. All right, Stella.
Decline.
All right, Benny.
And it sounds too Book of Mormon-y. Decline.
Okay, Trust.
Yeah, it sounds decline to me.
You know, I think there should sometimes be a bonus scheme in here where if you guys could tell me where it's from, you get like extra points. But since we don't get any points, it doesn't matter really. I made that up. That's decline, y'all. That is decline.
Damn it, I thought it was taken from the Book of Mormon.
Number 8, and it came to pass that he exhorted them, saying, be diligent in little things, for great shall follow. Tahir.
Well, it's giving divine, so I'll go divine.
All right, Stella.
I'm saying decline because every time I hear and it came to pass, that says Book of Mormon to me.
Okay. Benny.
Oh, I feel it in my soul. My spirit is telling me divine. I don't know why.
Okay. Trust.
Okay.
Likewise, going with the gut, divine.
I like Benny goes. Okay. All right, that was decline. That was kind of Book of Mormon style. Very
Damn
good.
it.
Like,
God.
yeah, I kind of took that from the Book
Damn,
of
this
Mormon.
is hard.
It is.
I know. Okay, next.
This is so fun.
This is fun, but it's so hard. Jesus, so hard.
Okay, he who covereth his transgressions shall not prosper, but he that confesseth and forsaketh them shall find mercy. Tahir.
Oh, that really feels divine.
Okay, Stella.
Divine.
All right, Benny.
Oh, it sounds like it came from the catechism, not the... I'm going to say decline just to be a weirdo.
Okay, Trust.
Oh, it smells like a trap, and I'm going to say divine anyway.
You know, I once played this game with Matt and Jaron, and I made them guess whether my phrases were from church fathers or not. Anyways, that was divine. That was Proverbs 28:13. So if you think this is hard, imagine
sounded
if I was
familiar.
asking you whether it was from Tacitus or Pliny the Younger. Okay.
Oh,
That's-
jeez.
Did they find it hard? I missed.
I don't really remember, or maybe we didn't play it. I I remember doing all the questions. I can't remember. I'll have to ask Jared if we played it or if we just talked about it. But I did have one all set up for, like, you had to guess whether it was from a church father or if I made it up.
If you have read like the church fathers, though, each does have their own like little flavor, where like Tacitus and Pliny are like they're writing to each other, and like there's other stuff too, like that you can kind of pick up on.
True, but it was kind of hard because you were just trying to tell whether it was from any church father or Christian.
Oh,
so that was the difference. So, okay, number 10. And as you know, if you've played this game before, this is for all the marbles here. Anybody who gets this question right automatically wins the game and eternal life.
Showcase showdown.
Oh, it's a showcase showdown. You got to spin that wheel just right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, number 10. And the stars shall testify of his mercy unto the ends of the earth, and men shall marvel at their obedience. Tahir.
Oh, man. Ooh. I don't know. I'm going to say divine. It could go either way.
Okay, Stella.
Oh, can you read it again?
Sure. And the stars shall testify of his mercy unto the ends of the earth, and men shall marvel at their obedience.
I'm going to decline.
Okay. Benny.
I'm a decline too because stars testify. I don't know. Decline.
Okay, trust.
Yeah, I'm going to say decline.
Good job. That was decline. That was made up from the Book of Crystal. Thank you guys for playing.
The Book of Crystal. Woo!
All right. So, Trust, when do you go live again?
Oh, well, I'm actually going to go live after we get done here. So I'm going to be on for a couple hours.
Here's what we're going to do. I know there's only 17 of us in here right now, but why don't you go ahead, go start your live. Once you're ready, I'll have somebody let me know. And then the few of us that are here can come raid you. I want to thank you so much for being
that's
here.
awesome.
I really appreciate it. I had such a good time.
I love being here.
I
Crystal.
hope we can do it
have
again
me back
in a few
again and
months.
again. Yes,
Okay,
absolutely. I'd love to come back. This is fun.
Tahir, Trust, do you mind if I can cast you? Do you mind if I?
Oh, beautiful.
No, Benny.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
mine. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I love it. I love it when they fight over me, Crystal. I love it when they fight over me. Usually it's Kristen's fighting over me, but when it's Benny Boy into here, it's fine.
And,
Hi, sir.
Oh, that's so awesome. Thank you, Benny. I appreciate that.
Well, I want to. I just want to see if it's gonna work. So I know for like Mezzo's live next time it comes around.
Yeah, I'm happy to be a guinea pig. No problem.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
I just want to say,
give me like
Benny
5
and
minutes.
Tahir, I will be going live most of the time from 11 to 2 almost every day. Anytime you guys can cast me, it does help my YouTube numbers. So if you ever don't have somebody you're already casting and I'm live and you can cast me on the horizontal, I love it. Thank you.
Let me know.
I'm trying to get to 1,000 subbies right now. I'm at almost 700, and I need to get those numbers up. And they do seem to I get more action on the vertical if I'm also over on the horizontal for some reason. So
Trust, do you read the YouTube chats? Because I'm gonna have you in vertical, so it might you might get a lot of wild people in the chat. So you might want to pay attention.
That's cool. Okay. Yeah, I do read it from time to time, but I have to do a better job of reading it. But I do read it.
It's just this time, just because you'll be in the algorithm for people on mobile, that people will strangers will come in, and most strangers are Christian. It turns out.
Okay, cool. That's even better. Yeah, I like reading the wild ones, the feral ones. I like those.
All right, cool.
All right,
you guys, we're gonna hang out for a minute while he goes and gets his show started up, and we'll go raid him over there. Benny, how are you doing? How is Mom doing? How is Seth? Seth, thank you. Can we get me to 7 billion followers? Is that too much to ask?
The Seth
Hey!
Seth, have you ever seen your own back of your head? Because that's it right now.
Now you have.
Looking back
Now you
ahead.
have.
So my mom, I'm kind of like nervous because she's going for her second round of chemo on the 10th, and I don't think we'll be back in town in time. So she's on her own with my dad. I told them everything they need to do. They know it. They've been there. But she actually has been taken to the chemo pretty all right. Like she's. I thought it would be like terrible, and it hasn't been great, but she's doing a good job, I think, keeping her spirits up. And yeah, so we'll be back around the 10th, and I'll have another update around then.
Okay, that sounds good. Please tell her I love her. She sends me messages sometimes, and I had done a commercial one day, and I was like, "Hey, what are you doing? You know, join me live." She goes, "I will join you live," but I was like 3 days after I had made that, and I was like, "Oh, dang it!" But she's so cute. I just love your mom. She's just so sweet.
She's probably
Stella,
watching.
thank you for. Well, hi, Mama. How are you?
Yeah.
Stella, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for coming up and playing with us. You are such a great support to the community.
Oh,
Okay,
thank
Benny,
you.
love you.
Love you.
Go say Crystal Raid over on Trust, you guys. Make sure you say Crystal Raid.
Yeah, I'm doing great. Mondays are my day off, so I'm doing lots of errands and all of that. But I always try to jump in on your lives whenever I can. Often I'm at work and it's my lunch break.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming up today. And Ty here, thank you so much for coming up during the game. I love you.
Love you, Crystal. For all the grief I give you, it really is fun. It is. I don't hate it. I'm just competitive.
I will let you torture me sometime, and you can ask the questions, and I'll sit there and answer them. Okay?
All right. Sounds good.
All right, you
Thanks for
guys.
having
Let's
me.
all. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for the 31,000 likes, the 57 ice cream cones, all of the shares, all the subscribers. Please don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to me on all your Gmail accounts over on my YouTube, go do it. I am CrystalJae, all one word. JAE is how you spell J. Go subscribe to me. Help me get the 7 billion followers that I need and subscribers over there. You guys, thank you. I will be live tomorrow with Conversations with Christians. I will be trying to not lose my shit. Dark Crystal might come out, but if you want to join me to talk with Christians tomorrow, I'll be live right here. And then Wednesday, I'll be live again with Non-Believers Bible Study. Thank you all for